The NBA Finals begin tonight right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Oklahoma City plays host to the Indianapolis Pacers. It's a Gilgeous-Alexander MVP versus Tyrese Halliburton upstart game. Pre-game fun starts at 6:30. In other NBA news, Commissioner Adam Silver announced that the 2026 All-Star Game will showcase some version of Team USA versus the world. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. I'm AJ, joined as always by the one and only Mr. Rob Thompson. Good morning, Rob.
You sound.
Yeah.
There's.
We've been fighting a good fight, man.
It sucks, man. It sucks, but it's
I can
odd.
hear today.
Did you have to get a plunger?
No. I did take a couple of Aleve D's, and it's better.
Are we alone? Because we've got this. Is anybody else? Is this going around?
Edwin, no sickness at your house?
Well, I haven't been here the last 2 days.
And you've remained isolated in your glass box of fun this morning.
No
You're
sickness
us?
for me.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
You may note that is the voice of Edwin and not the voice of Victor Brown. I've got no idea where Victor is. He I guess he just decided he's not going to come to work today.
I think Thursdays are a slow day for him.
Yep.
I don't know what's going
whatever,
on.
man. I don't
No, he
know
mentioned having to trek to the west side.
Oh, okay.
He
did. Okay.
He's one of those guys that.
I thought this was a surprise.
It probably is a surprise, but he's one of those guys that has to schedule 2 hours ahead of time. He's going to, if there's an appointment, he arrives in the vicinity about an hour and a half early just to make sure he knows where to park, make sure everything's good.
So anal.
And then he'll go get the lay of the land, and he'll just go sit in the parking lot and wait.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy Vic is. But, he's prepped.
Vic will be here tomorrow.
Yeah,
don't worry.
If he can make it back after his sojourn.
Well, yeah, if they don't take away his other kidney today. That's the that's the big question. That's what they're gonna kick his kidney around a little bit and decide if they want to let him keep it or not. Does he deserve it? That's what a lot of people would ask. Does he deserve to keep it?
In the end, it's just a rental.
Exactly.
You get another one.
Yeah.
Go find another one.
They're like, well, either someo's going to bring you one or...
There's a nice fat pig someplace.
Yes.
Got a kidney growing right now with the Vixen name on it.
Man, I'm in a weird spot right now because I would love to, go to bed early because I'm fighting a sickness. But there's a lot going on in the world. I've got a new house and all my family is here now, and I would say we're all moved in, but the moving truck with most of our stuff gets here on Monday. And the Stanley Cup Final started last night, and in a shocking development, Rob, not only did Game 1 go to overtime, it went to almost double overtime. It was a long
It took a minute. But
overtime.
Lots of fun in between. Lots of shots on goal.
Dude, great game. I tell you guys this all the time. I know you might say, I don't like hockey. Rob doesn't like hockey.
Well, if you like games, you like just competition. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Now, there is the ongoing issue is half the time I have no idea where the puck is. I still can't find it.
Really?
Even on the biggest TV, it just moves so freaking fast.
The only time I can't is when they're fighting over it in the corner, and I'm like, I wish there was a wall camera that would show the sticks and fighting over it.
They get in there and it spits out, and you'll catch just glimpses of it. Which also, and when you consider the situation you're in, adds to just the remarkable nature of the game, how quick-handed and all the just glorious parts of the game are highlighted because I can't keep up with it, which shows you how remarkable it is. But last night in particular for me, as a basketball guy who appreciates flow and setup and all the things that go into creating a basketball play. Watching Edmonton play that last minute and spread the ice and get guys open and share the puck and good to better and all the things that you glory in a team sport. That's the way they won it, which to me was, capped off, which was about 3 hours of a roller coaster ride, man. You break out in a sweat watching these games, man.
One that, a mistake by the Panthers flipping the puck out of play, which is a delay of game,
which I didn't know was a penalty. I thought that was just kind of a dumbass move, like an air ball.
It's a penalty if
I didn't know that.
If it doesn't touch something or if it hits the wall and then bounces out.
No, I had no idea that. Hey, you dumbass, give the ball the other side. I didn't know there was such a dumbass penalty.
No, yeah, it's 2 minutes.
Well, you can kill somebody, I guess. I guess there's a reason why you.
Well, it's a way to. Oh, I don't want you to get the puck. I'll just do this.
Well, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
but I had no idea. I learned 2 things last night: one in softball, one in hockey.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well,
right?
I'm just saying it was an interesting night of sports because I watched 2 things
that you don't normally watch.
I hardly ever watch, and was enthralled by both. I mean, just wrapped in attention.
But as soon as the Panthers made that mistake, man, I told you yesterday the Panthers have the best goalie, the Oilers have the best team or the best players, the best offense certainly. And once you took the extra man off the ice for the Panthers and made it a power play, no matter how good Bobrovsky is, and he is great, was not enough. And that offense got to him. And Leon Draisaitl, who I told you yesterday, he's the guy who leads the league in scoring, despite playing with the best player in the world. This is the leading scorer is also on that team.
He played a role in that last shot, right?
He scored it.
Yeah,
scored the first and last goal of the game.
That first one was a hiccup, man. I was barely sitting down. Boom, 1-0.
Well, it was and then it got to 3-1 Florida. It looked like it might be a blowout. And no, sir.
Dude, just phenomenal.
I think we're going to have a series.
It's every year we go through the same conversation, us non-hockey types. Like, man, I got to get in on this.
Yeah.
If it's like this 41 nights a year, oh, my God.
My brother, after the what they call that world, the cup thing that they played, I don't know what I'm talking about. The something nations or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was it.
He was like, bro, you got to put me on a team. What team am I cheering for? Because he watched the hockey. He's like, I'm going to start watching hockey. He's like, this is too fun to not watch it. And I'm telling you, when you see high quality hockey, man, it is a fun game to watch.
I think you were talking as we were prepping. You're waiting on the mistake because both teams are so good that the mistake causes them. And I guess you have to appreciate the high value of play for it to be a mistake that ends it. Because normally you want the better team to just win, But that's, I guess, part of hockey right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a key guy fouling out or something. You know what I mean? Like you.
Well, it's a lightning quick. Oops, over. You don't have a time to react, man. There is no coming back from an aired place or a bit misplaced shot or a stick.
And that is the thing about hockey that is so different than, especially overtime hockey. That's so different from like Major League Baseball or NBA. Is like, it can just be over.
Yeah,
and it's like you don't get it. You're the home team. You don't get an at bat. No, sorry, friend. That doesn't happen. You don't get there's no clock that says if you hit a shot here.
Turn your eyes away. Look down for your popcorn. It's over.
It's over.
What?
Boom.
And that's kind of how it felt last night. Luckily, when you're at home, I guess it's glorious. But on the road, when it's over and the whole crowd just goes, well, let's go home.
Yeah.
There's no celebration, no quiet, no nothing.
It's like watching a fight between 2 dudes who just throw haymakers. Like at any given moment, one of those is going to land and it's going to be over. And
I'm just so impressed with the game. It was a good night of sports.
Well, I'm stoked for the series now. I'm sold. I think you're going to see. I think when you have a game 1 like that, there's more people who are going to tune into a game 2 than otherwise typically would. And it also helps that it's opposite nights of the NBA. So it's, it rotates through. And I think that on the nights that the NBA is off, what the hell else are you going to do?
It's an easy transition. And on the other part of that, as far as the transition from night to night, for those of us that are on like Fubo, that, use that as their primary provider, you have to go elsewhere to find both the NBA and the NHL. And Max has it. So it's one of those, once you turn on your Max app, it pops right up as the first thing you see, which makes it easily accessible when you get there.
Because the hockey's on TNT, the finals will be on ABC.
Yeah, now those will be back on your Fubo app. But when you're playing most of the NBA playoffs, I've had to go to Max for
TNT,
the TNT.
yeah.
So when I popped on the Max app, that's the first thing that showed up, or I might not have remembered the game was even on, quite frankly, because it was in front of mine.
Oh.
But I hit it because we were looking for something to watch. Like, oh man, it's on. So fell into it and stayed there for 3 hours.
Nice.
Apart from watching on the screen, and I know we don't want to jump too far ahead on.
What'd your wife say about you watching hockey?
She was on her phone. I mean, every now and then I go, wow, and she'd look up and just kind of we'd talk about whatever. But no,
Okay.
I mean, she's an expert at phasing out on that stuff.
You didn't tell her about Bobrovsky? And,
I knew. Well, I'd just point like, did you see the size of that dude? Oh man, that guy with the red beard did it again. I mean, that's all we're.
When the Panthers goal, you can call him Playoff Bob.
Playoff Bob? Yeah, I heard that a couple of times.
Yeah.
And, we were commenting on, the size of the crowd outside.
Oh, yeah.
There's something, it's easy to root for Edmonton.
Well, besides them being 51st state losers.
Well, I mean, but they're so, you can feel it. It's kind of like, and I don't want to, this is a very bad transition, but it's kind of like the state of Indiana having an opportunity to hold up an NBA trophy. They feel like they're the birthplace of basketball, and they finally get a chance, and they're playing a team that's just overwhelming. Yep. And Edmonton finally getting a chance to bring the cup back, and the Panthers are just so big. It feels like they're in a power play all the time. They're just always smothering right at, I call it the rim, but in my mind but right at the crease or whatever they call it. They just smother you, man. Edmonton's got their work cut out because you have to spread those guys out. And they're so good defensively, man. It's going to be fun to watch.
It is going to be fun. Hopefully, get some new eyes on it. I always say, hopefully, you guys are enjoying this. Got some new eyes on lady softball for me yesterday. We'll talk about that on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We had some road work on 1604 that had a brief closure. That is reopened. 1604 westbound 281 on over to Blanco Road. Still might notice a little bit of a delay from Redland Road. 90 eastbound General McMullen. That stall has cleared. Still have this road work on 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. That does have the roadway reduced to 1 lane, 6-8 minute commute delay, and that has you slow from Schertz Parkway. Looks like a stall 35 southbound O'Connor, right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening this Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price with their lowest price guarantee. If you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 5-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
My name is John Clay Wolf. I'm the founder of GiveMeTheVin.com. Every month, for the next 10 months, everyone that sells us their car to GiveMeTheVin.com will get put in a drawing for a $25,000 winner. We're going to pull one of you out of a hat, and somebody's going to win 25 grand. So we're paying more, and you might win 25 grand. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's Best Car Buyer for nothing.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen. So when you need extra cash fast, go to BillsHappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to BillsHappen.com. All you need is a job and a checking account. You can find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow at BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com is the smart way to get a personal lender now. So if you need extra money for car repairs, medical bills, family emergencies, whatever you need cash for, go to BillsHappen.com and you can get the money you need as soon as the next day, up to $5,000. At BillsHappen.com, our process is safe, secure, and all online. No one to deal with in person, and Bills Happen does not charge you any fees to use our service. It's easy. When you need a lender, just remember, when bills happen, go to BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com for the cash you need now. BillsHappen.com.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Here in San Antonio in the Hill Country, our water is hard. It's harsh like some accents.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Now that's harsh. At the same time, those that know have a Connecticut quality water softener and enjoy smooth, soft, pure, clean water like this.
Tú eres mi luz en la oscuridad.
Hard, harsh water?
Hey, use with the face!
Soft water.
El amor es como el agua que nunca se seca.
If you don't have a Connecticut water softener, you're basically inviting hard water into your home to beat up your appliances, hot water heater, and every pipe in your home. And if you can't live without your coffee maker, hard water damages it too. Call me for a free in-home water evaluation at 656-PURE.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Connecticut is simply the best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own.
License number 38961.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. All right, you said you learned some things about softball yesterday. I did too. The Texas Fighting Longhorns go up 1-0 over the Red Raiders.
Raiders. Excuse me.
Who
I have to say that when you do that.
I didn't realize we talked about with the hockey, the best offense in the world against the best goalie in the world. I didn't realize that Texas Tech, we talked about that Texas gal yesterday, Reese Atwood, and how she's been basically the best hitter. And then the Red Raiders have what apparently is the best pitcher in the world with this Nijari Kennedy.
Kennedy, I guess is how you say it.
I was going to say Kennedy.
Kennedy?
But I was like,
maybe it is how they say it, Kennedy. I know they didn't say it the way I expected them to say it.
Yeah, same.
She can pitch, though.
First of all, I don't know. I'm ignorant here. I'm professing that before I start. If there's a rule against this, so be it. But if you're intentionally walking someone and you make it where the pitch is somewhat even remotely hittable, that's on you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a
That's
reason
on
why.
her, yeah.
Like, put your arm out here and.
Well, we've talked about why is Catch on her knees? Why is she down? Why can't she be standing outside the box like every other baseball?
So here's my only thought. Because remember, even like a major leaguer, when the pitch is thrown, the catcher needs to be in front of the umpire.
But just in front,
right? And
not kneeling.
But he puts his arm out there
and gives them. Everybody knows like
this is where I want the ball, and the ball goes there,
right?
And then the catcher moves out and catches the ball.
Right.
Maybe because it's such a short distance.
Well, I get that.
You don't want to make a mistake and throw it by her, but clearly the alternative is not great either.
Well, I guess you either too reckless pass ball, like you were talking about, or what we saw last night, which is a meatball. Just man, can you imagine what's her name? The Texas girl,
Reese Atwood.
How big did that ball look to her? When it's like, oh my God, it's right there.
Well, we talked yesterday about her being like she's 6'1" or something. Like she's a giant gal, and this is the girl from Sandia, the girl that like
ropes cows and
is like
guide you hunting,
extracting deer semen and like holding down bucks and sticking them with needles. I don't know what she's doing, but it's a wild woman. But if the pitch has to be high for an intentional walk, you might want to get it up over her head, because that girl, I mean, and when I was watching, I was like, this is intentional, right?
Again,
this is intentional.
So maybe it was trickery. It just felt very like you guys haven't done this very much. Kind of move.
Well, so I saw today. I mean, obviously, when I'm watching it, I've got no idea of this. This is the first intentional walk attempt by Kennedy all year.
See?
I mean, I guess if you got the best pitcher in the world, why are you ain't scared of nobody? You know what I mean?
Well, then, that's on Skip. That's on manager then, right? I mean, if you've not done it ever and finally you decide you have to do it now, that's on you. You failed your team to prep. If I'm coach, I'm waking up like, dang it, that extra 20 minutes in practice that I just called it that day or that week or every day.
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, my guess is at practice, like when Randy Johnson was throwing a bullpen. I'm trying to picture when Roger Clemens is throwing a bullpen. They don't say, "Hey, Raj, let's have you line up outside, and I want you to practice intentionally walking someone."
All right, my parlance, yeah. Mike, why don't you get up there and practice missing free throws?
Right.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, come over here, Michael. I need you to get used to missing free throws. Will you do that for me?
Yeah.
Just in case.
Or like now take the best free throw shooter ever and be like, Steph Curry, hey, we need you to practice getting this rebound on the
Yeah, okay. Now so I get the psyche of it. No, I'm down. All right. But it just seemed like what an awkward way to blow it. And it wasn't over necessarily. But man, oh man, well that one it was over.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the second base throw. Just a terrible way to lose. I mean, you just lost it. Pitch and maybe it's karma after that weird second base there in the sixth. I don't get that rule, so maybe it all worked out in the wash.
What was wild is Reese Atwood was 0 for 10 in the World Series so far, which she had not had a 10 at-bat drought all season, and came through right then.
And I know
they're trying to intentionally walk her. She takes ball 4 and drives it up the middle. And you know what? It kind of looked to me like maybe a ball that everyone was alert and awake, the shortstop could have made a play on.
Maybe, but everybody but her was thinking, take your base.
Well,
it was I know I'm kind of new. Same night, 2 sports.
I mean, you're
really
not. You're
don't
no
get
newer
a full
with
grasp.
this one. You're no newer than I am.
And this is just me in the broadest scope of things. I think these girls are getting good enough. We can expand the infield a little bit. Maybe we'll lengthen the base pads just a little bit more space. I think it's like they're playing in a phone booth to me. It's all too crowded.
It is very small.
It's like, when the game got too crowded because of the zone defense in basketball. Everybody's like, you know what? Everybody's too close to the rim. Let's go man to man. Let's spread things out. Let's get the defense. You have to chase your guy. No zone.
Yeah.
So I feel like women's softball, it's all too crowded, right in the middle of stuff.
Maybe so. I don't know.
Because these girls are good. I mean, good. Better than the guys were 40 years ago. Seriously.
Yeah, it's legit. I also saw that this gal, Kennedy, has thrown all 388 pitches for the Red Raiders in the College World Series.
It's underhanded. It's not like you're getting tired.
You got to get tired.
You know
what
what
I mean?
I don't get it, man.
And she's been dealing with a soft tissue issue in her left hamstring since February. And the coach, Coach Glasgow for Texas Tech, said, "Yeah, I'm not sure if she's going to pitch in Game 2 or not. I haven't decided yet."
Yeah, she is.
Imagine you're a pitcher who signed to play for Texas Tech, and you're just sitting there all year long, and this girl throws every pitch, and you're like, "Hey, Coach, I got,
well, then
you did bring me to come play for you here, right?"
That's why there's a portal. They got here. They got paid. Trust me, they're getting paid sitting on that bench, but that's why they'll be gone next year. The mercenary part of this sport is very evident with Tech. I mean, that is a bunch of talent acquired over a summer.
So, Game 2 on Thursday. We can't wait. Casey says if they don't pitch your Game 2, it's over.
You get the sense, man. There might be a reason why pitch 2 never gets on the field.
Maybe so.
But if you if that's a tired her,
yeah,
I'd hate to see you fresh.
Well, I again didn't expect to find myself entertained by it, but I was. Admittedly, I was.
It got heated there. That was a strange one. Blocking the base right there on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a reason why they decided that would be wrong. And you were talking about
I think it is because of the size of the path.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just think they're like.
Well, that's dumb. We might need to fix that one.
Well, worked out for Texas in Game 1. I am glad for that gal, that good old South Texas girl, winning the ball game there.
I'd like to see a replay and see how her eyes just meet pie plates when she saw that ball coming down the pipe. I mean, oops.
Yep. And Kennedy said for her credit, she hadn't attempted an intentional walk all season. She said, "I made that mistake. I think the loss is on me. I apologize to my team. I didn't." And the coach had said he didn't want to pitch to the best hitter in the country. She had a 398 average and 21 home runs this season. He said you got to give her credit. She wanted to play ball. She wanted to make a play. Made a difference in the game at a time when we were trying to take her out of the game.
Truth.
Yeah.
All truth. And I wonder if Coach would do it again.
I think he would. Because I do think it was the right move to.
Well, it probably was. But, there's the delicate part of you brought it up. You tell your pitch, hey, pitch around this girl. Wait a minute.
I need to know.
What?
I need to know that is that how a normal intentional walk looks in softball? Like, do you just try and get it up 6 inches out of the zone? Like, I would make it. You want to make it unhittable, or better yet, beaner.
That's what I was thinking. Just take her thigh. Just take her one.
I'd get her in the rib cage. Yeah. Like, make sure. Hey, you want to stand in here and hit against me, girl? You're gonna pay. So I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know what the etiquette is, but pretty cool finish either way. And you sucked me in. Now I'll be there for Game 2.
Be back.
I don't know if I'll be there for the whole Game 2, but because I don't know what the interference will be like with the basketball game. I'm not gonna prioritize it over an NBA Finals game, but
if I was the scheduling TV type, and ESPN doesn't have any of this, right, of the finals.
No.
Man, I'd be very flexible.
But ABC does, and
if I'm
ABC
ESPN,
is daddy,
and I know that this game looks like it might be, and I'm talking about the most viewed on ESPN in a very segmented audience. But if I think I can pull maybe 2 million people, I might be fluid in my scheduling. Like I might place it right in a place where everybody who's waiting on NBA or getting ready for NHL might just tune into me for a minute.
Casey says, "Oh, okay." So a lot of people are saying no, that's not what an intentional walk usually looks like.
Oh, okay, good.
Usually, an intentional walk is thrown soft and out, same as baseball. But
so they were trying to do two things at once.
The unintentional
right,
walk.
Like, slipped by a strike. You fell asleep, kind of stuff. All right.
And that's why I kind of say it's on coach.
I feel like it is
because when I was coaching and I wanted to intentionally walk a kid, I wouldn't do the stand up. I would just say 4 and point to first base.
So you can do that.
In baseball, you can. I don't know what the rule is in softball.
Oh, well, man, I'd make that as far as expeditious and
speeds up the game.
Baseball, that's what I would do all the time.
And it avoids mistakes.
But for the situation we saw last night, which was actually, it added to the game. It wasn't a negative to the game where most of the time that kind of stuff is. Last night, it actually added to the drama, but I appreciate the 4. Let's go. Let's move this thing along.
I mean, it sounds like something in a movie. Like, we were trying to intentionally walk him, and the catcher stood up outside, the pitcher threw it, and the batter stepped across the plate and hit the game-winning home run. It's like,
I can see Kevin Costner or Robert Redford already. Wait a minute, they already did that.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in real life. Well, here it is. All right, that's enough. That's all the softball talk for today. Although I guess maybe we'll give the odds for the game too.
I'm chasing it.
Yeah, we'll see what's up with that. All right, but we do have an NBA Finals today. Starts today, baby. Finally. Jeez, when was the last game played? Sunday?
A month and a half ago. It
feels like it. Yeah. So finally, we got basketball. We'll talk about it next. Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We had some road work on 1604 that had a brief closure. That is reopened. 1604 westbound 281 on over to Blanco Road. Still might notice a little bit of a delay from Redland Road. 90 eastbound General McMullen. That stall has cleared. Still have this road work on 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. That does have the roadway reduced to 1 lane, 6-8 minute commute delay, and that has you slow from Schertz Parkway. Looks like a stall 35 southbound O'Connor, right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. This report is sponsored by Staples.
Bobby Bones here with some easy trivia. What does the Staples easy button say? That was easy. Boom. I mean, that was easy. You knew that, right? And now you know to press it for prints, shipping, and even passport photos. Plus, next day delivery to over 98% of the U.S. I see you, Staples. That was easy.
Take a swing at picking baseball this season on Underdog. Hi, Jason Minix here from the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Underdog is one of the leading sports apps, and you can play in Texas. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars making picks on Underdog, and playing on Underdog is easy. Just download the Underdog app and pick higher or lower on player stats like home runs, strikeouts, total bases, and more. And you can play for as little as $1. If you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app, sign up with promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, use promo code STAR when you get signed up at Underdog. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See UnderdogFantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRUNK for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRUNK for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRUNK.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is finally here. It seems like it's been forever, but the NBA Finals start tonight.
What is going on with C.J. Stroud's shoulder? We'll ask John McClain when he joins us at 5:15.
And we'll try to dissect what happened at the city council meeting yesterday involving Project Marvel.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Funny.
Puts you in the mind of titles, doesn't it?
I don't know, I guess. I don't know. Just feels like basketball music.
Well, was that NBC's? Which one was this one?
ESPN.
That was the ESPN one. I wonder if they're going to change it.
Probably.
Maybe, there's certain ones that are iconic. That was
I think they generally change it up every 5-10 years.
And, now with a new beginning and the new crew and all that, maybe they should. But there's certain sounds that when you hear, you go, oh, I know where I was, or I remember that feeling when I'd hear this coming on.
Yeah.
And it's Spurs win.
It's funny how did you read the article yesterday on ESPN about how the Paul George trade is about to decide who wins the NBA title?
It is one of those crazy stories that, what's it, 6 Degrees from Kevin Bacon or whatever it is, how the role that the unfulfilled potential that Paul George offered reshaped two teams.
Yeah. And
actually more than that. If we start
way more
talking
than
about
that.
the Sixers and all that.
Clippers and 8 years ago, almost 8 years ago, Paul George goes from Indiana to Oklahoma City, and you can kind of go back and trace that move to how both these teams got where they are. In 2019, Paul George wanted to go play with Kawhi, and the Thunder said, okay, that works, but we're going to want a bunch of picks back, and we want Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Like that SGA guy.
Those picks turned into Jalen Williams and Dylan Jones, and they still have more picks to come, obviously. And then when Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis, guys that they got for Paul George, became all-star caliber players,
Sacramento goes.
Pacers send them to Sacramento. They send Sabonis to Sacramento for Tyrese Halliburton. They trade Oladipo for Karis LeVert, which ultimately got them Andrew Nembhard. And that's how these rosters were built.
Skillful maneuvers on both sides. I mean, well done.
Especially, it's funny because every time Paul George got traded at first, it was like, what? How could you trade Paul George? Paul George at one point was looked at like,
oh yeah,
a top-tier guy, but he's never on the floor. And
he's never was, and I think considered early on how quickly he rose to prominence. He was never going to be a separator. He was always going to be a very good. And I think GM saw that.
I wonder if pre-injury that was a different story.
You know what? You're probably right. And
I think pre-injury he was looked at as a guy who could be, at a minimum, could be Jason Tatum.
No, you're right. I forget how devastating that injury was, but it just feels like because his potential was never quite fulfilled, that the GMs that got him went, yeah, I could move him. You know, I mean, yeah, and he'll help you too, but he'll never be the dude that lifts you further than like Kawhi did for him.
And remember it was Paul George, Carmelo, and Russ in OKC, and they were like, this just isn't going to work out.
Old.
And then they re-signed him, and right after they re-signed him, he's like, yeah, I want out of here. And okay, but it's going to cost you if you want him. And they found a team to pay the price. And obviously, no regrets. Obviously, they're happy with the trade.
I think everybody involved all the way through this, I think when they count their pennies, I think is happy. The only one that has suffered and continually downward trended was Paul George. He ended up on Philadelphia, a team that's just absolutely bereft of health. So, I mean, growing up, there used to be a term for used cars. They were known as sleds. A sled slides downhill. So San Pedro had car lots. You started out at the top of the hill, and you'd slide your way down these car lots. So the sled ended up at the bottom of the hill. Paul George was an NBA sled. He started at the top of the hill and kept getting traded down to where he's just a one-legged part.
And you got to remember at the time, now it's a little more commonplace, but at the time to get 5 first-round picks.
Yeah.
I would say for one guy. I mean, it was for one guy, but 5 first-round picks and Shai is like it was unprecedented. It didn't happen in the NBA back then.
And now it just seems like
the important thing to remember is like because there were people who were like, "Oh, the Clippers got fleeced here," but the Clippers looked at it as they were using that also to bring in Kawhi.
Yeah, no, that's why I think everybody involved, on both sides, when they walked away, even today, go, good deal.
Yeah.
I'm happy with what I did.
And if Paul George, pardon me, if Paul George and Kawhi had stayed healthy, who knows? We'll never know, but who knows what could have been.
So, given how these two teams were built and how they both were skillfully kind of enhanced over the years, it's funny how far ahead of the game Oklahoma City feels. I just, over the last 48 hours, I've gone from, 6 games, kind of if they try hard, to where it just seems so absolutely inevitable. There's just no way around the fact that while Indiana deserves to be here, that they probably were the best team in the East for the last 40, 50 games, that they are just so distant in preparation and in manpower, and only thing they've got going for them is a hot point guard and a tactile genius in Rick Carlisle. Other than that, it just feels like it's going to have to be a miracle. One of those things that we're going to talk about for the ages if you make this thing competitive.
Yep. I obviously, it's easy to say now. I give OKC a lot of credit for not only making the move and making sure they included Shea, but also sticking to their guns and saying, no, we don't have to trade Paul George.
Exactly.
I really think they looked at themselves then and said, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, the first year it didn't work, but I think they really believed like it could eventually work. Now, in hindsight, those three guys are all historic losers.
Sleds.
So it's like, great players, but not championship players. The OKC said, no, you don't want to give us what we want. We're good holding on. So the Clippers said, all right, we'll give you what you want.
And notice Presti, as soon as they blinked, he did it. I mean, I think he also knew these three dudes are good, but they ain't going to win it. I mean, they're not going to get past Boston. They're not going to – I mean, who was the hot Golden State? This is not
That's
a
what
team
it was then,
that's going to be able to beat Golden State. So if there's the right move, even feels remote, we'll make the move. So credit them for seeing down the road that this crew wasn't probably up to the task.
All right, let me ask you this. If you are a team now, let's say you're the Spurs or the Rockets or any one of these teams that's got some assets, young assets, picks to trade away, because the name being kicked around a lot right now, well, two names, Giannis being kicked around a lot, KD being kicked around a lot. KD in particular feels a lot like Paul George, like a guy who's still got game, but you could see it diminishing. How willing are you to throw a bunch of future assets towards a guy like that and taking the chance that Phoenix, or you could be responsible for turning Phoenix or Milwaukee into the next Oklahoma City?
The difference in all this is Shea was young. Shea was the unscratched lottery ticket.
Yep.
I mean, and you have to give credit to OKC because it was an unscratched ticket. I'm not sure that
I don't know if it was unscratched. I think it was one of those that was scratched, and you had two numbers that matched, and you needed a third number, but you didn't know.
It was a risk.
It looked like Shea was something.
Yeah, we had an idea, but keep in mind, you are, at least to the outside, giving up a talent in Paul George that felt like was certainly capable of winning a title. And on the inside, maybe it looked different. Maybe Presti saw some things that we never did to make that deal for an SGA that, possibly, maybe, could be.
Yeah.
But the way that it went all the way through, if we're a copycat league, it makes it that much more difficult to pull the trigger to go get a Giannis. Because is he a sled? Is he Paul George now? The guy that looks good on paper and certainly is not going to hurt your team, but is he going to be able to elevate whatever I've got around him now? Because once I get him, I can't get anything else. Kind of move.
Yep, that's going to be the big question. All right, let's take our last break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 1. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And vacation you forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man.
But regular you knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet.
Vacation You and regular you really need to get on the same page.
So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Carbach Brewing kicking off the summer with their Music to Your Beer campaign to keep you listeners in San Antonio in a Love Street state of mind. Love Street's got 2 great giveaways going on. Carbach's giving away a custom pair of Love Street Air Force Ones designed by a local artist. Get you stepping into the summer in style. On top of that, you can head down to your favorite watering hole and look for the Love Street Beer Rep. They might be able to hook you up with 2 credits to your Touch Tunes account so you can get the whole bar celebrating summer. You want details on that? Check it out at carbachbrewing.com. And if Love Street's not your thing, that's all right. There's something for everybody in the Carbach lineup. Hopadillo, fantastic IPA. That's their flagship IPA. You can even find the Double Dillo right now. That's Hopadillo Imperial for a limited time, but you can find that out and about in the wild as well. Ziegenbach celebrating the great taste of Texas summer. Chance for listeners to win a grill for their backyard. You can find that online at Carbach Brewing as well. Check them out, guys. carbachbrewing.com.
Being arrested isn't just a setback. It's a nightmare that can destroy your life and reputation. If you want to rewrite your story after the worst night of your life, you need an aggressive, skilled defense team. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates. We're here to make sure your one bad night doesn't turn into a lifetime of regret. Protect your reputation. Contact Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates. Your defense starts here.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams primer and ceiling paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13, delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Warning, the national debt is spiraling out of control. Trade wars are causing record volatility, and inflation could make a devastating comeback. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? And what if you could do it tax and penalty-free? Find out more by requesting your free 2025 Gold and Silver Kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. Plus, you could get an unlimited instant match on bonus silver if you qualify. Call 855-969-GOLD to learn more. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Let's go!
Hi, it's Jason Minix.
It's
You're
the Morning
listening
Huddle
to the home
with
of the
AJ
Cowboys,
Hoffman and Rob
94.1
Thompson
San Antonio
on
Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1. Edwin, you're not supposed to let me get behind clock.
Yeah, Edwin.
Do your job.
I blame him.
Now we're gonna have a minute-long segment here. Chris says, as a Spurs fan, I'd rather have KD than Giannis, only because you're not giving up the house to get him. Durant's way cheaper. He's definitely an upgrade from Vassell. Well, yeah.
And that's a valid point, AJ.
But the question, I mean, the shelf life of Giannis feels a lot longer than KD. And here's the question I'll ask you, Rob, and maybe we can wait till the other side for you to answer it. I think we would both agree Giannis is one of the 5 best players in the world.
No hesitation.
Is KD still one of the 5 best players in the world?
I think we can all agree no.
Okay. And how far away is it? And if he's not, then what's the point?
I think we'll have to talk about that.
We will do that coming up on the other side And we'll jump into the final series as well, dig heavy into that in the 7 o'clock hour. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM, Floresville.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
It was a sad day for Hooters.
What were they wearing in place of the uniform again?
We've had hostesses that may have been a little larger that couldn't wear the outfit, so they had safari shorts on and khaki shirts.
Oh.
It was a pretty low point in my life.
So it's not just me.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken nuggets are back at Taco Bell. All white meat chicken coated in tortilla chip breading and paired with unique dipping sauces. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
George gets justice.
You've just been in an accident, and now you're asking yourself, what do I do now? You're dealing with pain, medical bills, and missing work. Dealing with the insurance company feels overwhelming. George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we're here for you. We'll listen and explain your options and fight to get you the justice you deserve. No upfront fees, no stress, just real help when you need it most. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today or visit us at getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We just cleared that trouble spot on 35 southbound at O'Connor. Had a disabled vehicle. That just cleared. We do have a stall reported at 151 eastbound Loop 410 that's now off to the shoulder. Another at 1604 northbound New Gilbo and 35 northbound 1604. All of these stalls are up to the right shoulder. Your main lanes are getting by. Now, we do have this ongoing road work 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604 and downtown 35 lower level southbound Alamo to Laredo Street. That's closed. And then upper level, we've got only the right lane open. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA Finals begin tonight right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Oklahoma City plays host to the Indianapolis Pacers. It's a Gilgeous-Alexander MVP versus Tyrese Halliburton upstart game. Pre-game fun starts at 6:30. In other NBA news, Commissioner Adam Silver announced that the 2026 All-Star Game will showcase some version of Team USA versus the world. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
7:01 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Have a giveaway coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. We got another ticket, or another pair of tickets to a concert, part of the Live Nation $30 Ticket to Summer Tour. We'll throw at you in the 8 a.m. hour.
That's something stupid.
Slightly. Well, we'll
wait a minute, that's the name, right?
Yeah. But we'll get you there. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Stick with us, friends. Stick with us. Tell your friends also to turn on our radio program. We're working hard today. Working hard, baby.
We are.
We're
playing hurt.
Oh, boy. I'm fighting the best fight I can, boys.
Tell my kids, are you hurt or are you injured? There's a big difference.
Fighting the best fight I can.
So we're playing hurt.
Let's discuss this Spurs KD decision. I say decision like they've just got a rumor came out yesterday, or a trade proposal was out that like a deal centered around Vassell and Keldon Johnson and the number 14 pick for KD, which I find hard to believe that the Suns would take that even. That I mean, if it
they
were
want picks,
yeah, it wouldn't be the 14. It would if it was the 2, maybe I'd believe it.
Well, I think it would be the 14 this year, number ones next year, and one of the 2. There's no. I mean, Devin has a pretty decent contract, but Phoenix needs youth and opportunity. They just went and hired a young coach. They're all in with Devin Booker. They don't want players. They want opportunity, and the opportunity comes in picks. So if Kevin Durant was to come, it'll cost us future consideration with not so much current. I mean, yeah, Phoenix needs to fill a roster, but this is a full rebuild they're going through.
Yeah.
So what we have in the future is what they're asking for.
But with KD, you still have we talked about it last segment. He's not a top 5 player in the league anymore. But he's not washed either.
No, he's a sled. But if you understand the sled he is, there's still a lot left. But you have to bring him in for just certain things. He's not going to be a savior. He's certainly going to help, and he might be the difference maker. He's still that. But because we all know that there's a ticking clock, his value is diminished. So it wouldn't be so expensive to go get a Kevin Durant, but you're risking a bit more because – his game is predicated on offense. He's a sneaky good defender, better than a lot of people give him credit. But it's about block shots and off the ball kind of stuff. So you have to kind of adapt your team to this. There's a risk to be taken. That's the way I look at it as the Spurs. So I don't give you nearly as much. And if we are negotiating, I'm trying to give away current value. I don't want to give away draft picks. So we're going to have to find that balance. And if you want future consideration, you're going to have to take some of the salary crap off my plate right now, and it's going to involve either Devin or Keldon. I don't think it involves both.
Yeah, I think that it's going to take players and picks. I mean, obviously it's going to take players to match salary.
Yeah.
That and the Spurs don't really have they don't have like a lot of just bad salaries sitting around, which is maybe the best thing the Spurs have going for them.
Well, that was intentional. I mean, that's why that bench was so skinny last year.
But that makes it hard to trade. Like, oh, we don't have this garbage. Like our 12th man who we never play isn't making an exorbitant amount of money, so we can't really trade him away.
But the good news is we got to sign De'Aaron Fox. We're about to eat a fair amount. We know that the money that's sitting in the bank account, we're going to spend. We're going $250 million is about to come out of that bank account real soon. So yeah, it looks good now, but we know a lot of this money's already earmarked.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Harrison Barnes, unfortunately, was one of the guys that got included. And
if it's Durant or Giannis, I get it.
I do too. I just don't want. I mean, I've said I think he's got real value on this team. He's a guy who cares about defense on a team that doesn't have a lot of guys who really value defense, and he's a shooter, a good shooter. In fact, the best shooter on a team that, for whatever reason, is full of bad shooters and wants to shoot at a very high volume.
Yeah.
So, like, at least have if you're going to shoot at a very high volume, at least have a guy who can shoot, and Harrison Barnes is that. But the idea that you can get a Kevin Durant is certainly appealing, or a Giannis or whoever is certainly appealing.
And then you add in, AJ, the fact that this is a young coach that's going to be still learning on the job. No matter how good a team that he has around him, he's going to have to learn to become Mitch Johnson. And this has to be a Mitch Johnson team. And the difficulty from separating himself from Pop and all that was in the past. And there's the natural desire to stay the same. What would Pop do in every situation, which we can no longer do because Pop ain't freaking there. So he can't be the guiding force other than this is the theme and this is the direction I want to go. I point the boat, you drive it kind of thing. So when you have a new coach like this, it does help to have a guy like Durant and De'Aaron Fox out on the court who've kind of been around the block, who can kind of – you can kind of throw the ball out to them and give them the framework to go play in and allow them to be the old pros that they are. So it could also help bring along a young coach when you bring in a Durant like this because he is a safety net.
The teams that have been kicked around as possibilities for KD, the Spurs are on that list. The Heat, the Rockets, the T-Wolves, and the Knicks have also been mentioned as potential KD landing spots.
I think the Rockets have the most to offer.
Well, the Rockets own pick swaps with the Suns, and the Suns would love to get that back. The Suns have the Rockets have like a 10th pick in the draft this year.
And they can get a dude that plays just like Durant, so there won't be a big effect on Booker's game if he's comfortable with that kind of situation because he'll have a dude on the other side that's long, can get some offense, do some backside block help, but won't be so ball dominant. So it just feels like that's the most natural trading partner because it helps both teams. And if I'm the Rockets, who were second in the West, I'm thinking, here comes San Antonio. I'm looking at Oklahoma City thinking, do I have enough to go to war for the next couple of years, or at least for the next two? And I'm not sure they do.
If I don't have to like just get my roster chewed up, which that'd be my worry if the Rockets, in the Rockets case, I don't want to give up a whole bunch of core guys.
I can tell you, Sengun is untouchable.
Yeah, agreed.
We know that.
Amin Thompson's untouchable.
And Amin Thompson. After that, I can be negotiated with. You know, I know that Jalen Green's going to be a part of any deal.
Yeah. This one says this. Here's another trade that I saw. I'll ask you what you think of this. Cam Johnson, Nets 2025. The Spurs get KD. Suns get Cam Johnson. The Nets first from this year, which is the 8th overall pick. They get the Spurs 14th pick, and they get the Nets 27th pick. The Nets get the Spurs' second pick, Harrison Barnes, Malachi Branham, and Blake Wesley. Are you happy with that?
Who lands with us?
KD.
That's it.
That's it.
I don't like it.
You give up your second, your 14th, Barnes, Branham, Wesley.
No, I don't want to treat the sled and keep more value in the sled than there is. Right now, Kevin Durant is an E-Class Mercedes with about 45,000 miles on it.
Okay.
And there's some value there.
Yep.
But in about 15,000 miles, the value is about half because now the oil changes are due, time for new tires, and the cost of ownership is too much. The sled goes downhill. And I don't want to be caught in the transition of the sled from value to money suck. So I'm not giving away 2 and 14.
The problem for me is if I'm the Spurs, I mean, obviously, you know the Wemby's untouchable. De'Aaron Fox is untouchable. In my mind, I'm not giving you the number 2 pick, and I'm not giving you Steph Castle as part of a deal for KD.
No.
But if I'm the Suns, I'm not giving you KD unless you give me number 2 or Steph Castle.
You're right. So I don't think we're going to mesh. That's why I look at Houston, and Houston can offer them some guys that are ready to go, that kind of fit the bill, ready to play now, and the swaps, that can fit. I've got other plans. Houston is 2 laps ahead of us. They've already taken some steps that we haven't taken. They got to kind of round themselves into form. We're still painting the numbers. We still are putting this team together. I'm not ready to do what Houston needs to do. So go talk to them. In 2 years, if I'm where Houston is, we might be talking. But right now, no.
Christopher says, I saw Vassell Harrison in the 14th pick. You probably saw that from some Spurs fan website.
Yeah, that's too little.
If you're Phoenix, what are you getting? Like, what's your gain?
I need 14th. I need next year's number 1. I need the 3 years from now number 1. I need another bit to fill salary cap value. So, no, that's not enough.
There's no way that the Suns would feel good giving up KD and getting back a couple, not to say that Vassell's nothing, but Vassell's a low-end starter.
I would take Vassell, the 14. I'd be asking for 2 or either you give me your number 2 or Castle, and I want 1s. I need at least 1, probably 2 number 1s.
It can't just be the 14th pick.
Not enough for a legend, a bucket, a guy that if I give Kevin Durant to the Rockets, and Amon Thompson continues to flourish, Sengun continues to go, Van Vliet continues to lead. I'm giving them a ticket to the Western Conference Finals. If all things play into, I'm giving you that, and probably for the next 2 years if I make this deal. So I have to be very wary of what I'm doing because I could create a monster in Houston because I can make you that good. So I don't think, given the situation where the Spurs are, I don't want to give away that much. It's just not. It's not time for us to do this.
Yeah, I don't think so either. This feels like. It feels like these aren't the Suns and the Spurs feel like unlikely trade partners just because what the Suns want is young, talent, and the Spurs are on a timeline where they covet young talent.
Yeah, we want the same things. We're a couple of laps ahead of Phoenix, just like Houston's a couple of laps ahead of us. So they want what we want. We want what Houston's got. We want to get better with our dudes and then top it off maybe next year.
Yeah, I mean,
but then again, but this is a very different thing. If Giannis is available then we're talking 2s and 14s and things like that. Then I can consider making these kind of moves. But Durant's just not valuable enough to do that.
No, you're right. And KD is 37 years old. He has not fallen off the map yet, but you can kind of see the end of the map coming up.
He's a 50,000-mile Mercedes E-Class.
I think it might be more than 50,000.
Maybe 65, 70,000. But a good car. Man, it's worth every penny until it's not.
Yeah. Where Giannis is 30, he still has
got some miles.
A lot of tread left on those tires. Although you can see KD's game lasting a lot longer than Giannis's game,
Yeah, but he's going to become
Giannis at 37 is not going to be the player KD is now.
No, not at all. No, the physicality would be gone. But KD can become the Ray Allen. I mean,
I think so too.
I'm a merc, and I'm here to get buckets.
But that's just not worth. To me, it's not worth the 2nd and 14th pick or anything like that. And I think to the Suns, giving him up isn't worth getting back a 14th pick and Devin Vassell. Sorry, no, it's just not. It's not feasible. If I were the Suns, I would say, I think my minimum would be Vassell, Barnes, and either Castle or the number 2 pick
and some more,
plus a future number 1.
Yeah, that would be an amenable move, and it would be probably a fair move. But it's just not time for the Spurs to do this now.
I don't think so
there's
either.
Just too much on the vine that we need to wait and see what happens.
Now, you want to talk about that number 2 pick to bring Giannis?
Not now.
I'll discuss it. You want to talk about Steph Castle to bring Giannis? I'll discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes back to what I've been saying for a month now. You need to have a top 5 player in the world to win an NBA title, and Giannis is a top 5 player in the world. And ideally, by the time Giannis stops being a top 5 player in the world, Wemby has become a top 5 player in the world, and Giannis is just on the edge of that, and now that's a recipe for a title.
Things that we've seen the Spurs do before.
All right. Let's take a break now, and we might come back to these trade rumors later on, but let's get into the actual game tonight. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
By the silence, I assume this is me talking about my good friend.
That
Dr.
is you,
Jacob
sir.
Torres. Dr. Torres, I'm going to go by the Institute for Functional Health today. I made an appointment yesterday. They take care of you quick. In fact, I could have walked in yesterday, just got myself busy. Today, I'm going by to see him about this head cold. But the reason I met Dr. Torres some 8 years ago was part and parcel to what Dr. Torres does, the Institute for Functional Health. Part of your functional health is your weight. If you weigh too much, man, the cascade effects of carrying these extra pounds are just too many to number. You feel it in your lack of sleep. You see it in your giant belt. But at the end of the day, internally, it's killing you. And before you can start losing weight, you need to get on a program that you can maintain, one that you can live with, that no matter what, will keep you in a healthy state of mind, both physically and mentally. If that's where you want to go, there's no better place than Dr. Torres. He's put together programs individually for hundreds and hundreds of people like you, like me, who wanted to lose weight but just didn't have the willpower and the understanding of how to do it long term. I am still a weight loss patient with Dr. Torres these many years later because it works. I need the guidance, but the plan is in place, and all the other stuff is falling in. It's time for you to start. Call him today, 210-468-1891. His website's a great, valuable resource. That's IFFhealth.com. Look, if it's time to lose weight, if you want to start feeling better, call Dr. Torres today. Go by and see him, and you can come on by and thank me later. There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom. Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening this Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke, like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So, where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
You know, some people are just good at everything. You know, gymnastics, sucking crawfish. Some people just are multi-talented. Very educational. We still got 45 minutes to go.
All I know is you're not walking down the hall to go to the bathroom during this break.
No, I'm not.
Ride home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
All right. Morning Huddle 94.1. All right, Claymore. If you're going to do the laughing, crying face at my takes, you got to listen to him. Says, AJ, you know damn well Spurs ain't including the second pick in a KD trade. And I said, they should not. But if I'm the Suns, that's what I'm asking for. And I'm not giving up KD for the 14th pick and some parts. And I was reading this morning that they've lowered their asking price, and that makes sense. But I still like the 14th pick. If one day the Suns say, okay, well, when you traded away KD, what'd you get back? What'd you get for your rebuild? Well, we got the 14th pick. What? The 14th pick? I'm gonna need more than that, dog. I'm gonna need more than that. And at least if you say, "Oh, I got back Dylan Harper," you could see you at least could save some face. And again, if I'm the Spurs, I don't give up that number 2 pick. But that's why I think I'm just not a match for Kevin Durant.
You wonder. Everyone brought it up that it was. Wendy said they're trying to move the pick now. They want to get the picks. They're trying to make the move before the draft.
The Suns.
The Suns. They want to get the picks or whatever happens.
Which I'm guessing that's why we saw that the price has been reduced.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get things moving so they can control at least have an idea who they're going to be drafting. And with that, deadlines do make deals, and if value is dropping, maybe there is a deal to be made to get a Durant in for a little bit less than I thought it cost. Maybe it won't cost as many down the road if they're really wanting to get the picks in the house. We've got a brand new coach they announced yesterday. They said Devin Booker played a huge role in the decision to hire that coach, which tells you they have definitely moved on. Durant certainly knows it's over. So you get the sense that this is a motivated seller, as they use in the real estate business.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. But
those pick swaps with Houston just look so inviting. I mean, it sets their table that much quicker.
It just feels like there's got to be a better offer for KD than the 14th pick and Devin Vassell, from someone. So sure, that's a great deal for the Spurs. If they do that, God bless them. They've pulled one over, and I'm not going to be mad at it at all if they're capable of doing it.
If you think that's going to happen, I got some property to sell you.
I just think that there's way, way, way better deals on the table. There has to be for KD than that, including, like you said, Houston, who already owns some stuff that Phoenix would covet.
And it's cheaper to get your swaps back, so you get your swaps back and you get some dudes. It just does several things for Houston in this rebuild, and it helps Houston because they're really not giving up that much. I mean, this is a team that you feel like they've got the foundation. They just need to rough out the edges, and this would certainly help rough out the edge. And I can't stress enough, in an environment that you are truly going to have to be loaded for bear for the next couple of years to take on an Oklahoma City team. You're going to have scoring. You're going to have great ball skills. You're going to have good bigs. You're going to have everything to beat a Thunder team that is stocked.
Chris says, sorry, I'm not sold on Harper. I just don't see him being that good.
Well,
all right. There are many
opinions that differ, and you could be right.
It's a lottery ticket, for sure.
This kid looks like, no, he's not going to be Cooper Flagg. He's not that, but he is a legitimate top 5 pick in any draft, has every ball skill, has been raised in an NBA environment. His daddy was in the league. He was born to do this. The mentality is there. He played with another superstar last year and dominated the ball. I mean, Ace Bailey became lesser because Ron Harper was that good. So we had the head-to-head comparison with what will probably be either the 3rd or the 4th pick. And it is no question in most minds that he is better than that guy. So
100%.
Yeah, you have a relative observant, just a bystander every home game. You can see these 2 top talents, and one is obviously better than the other. So I think there's enough to say, yeah, he's the legitimate pick. I mean, he is legitimately the dude, no question about it, at least in this year's draft.
Yeah, and if Dylan, and I'm not saying Dylan Harper's Cade Cunningham,
but he certainly could be.
But when you look at him, you go, that sure looks like Cade Cunningham. It walks like Cade Cunningham, talks like Cade Cunningham. It might be, and if it is, There's something there.
And again, I don't think you build your team necessarily just to beat another one. I don't think you do. But let's talk about what Oklahoma City is. And I can't stress enough the 4 dudes that play on-ball defense that just utterly destroy you. So if you're going to fight these guys, every guy on the court better be able to handle the ball.
Yeah.
You better be able to dribble the ball 3 times. You better be able to keep your eyes up and see backdoor cutters, because if they're going to smother you, play some judo, head to the rim. So he fits that bill. 6'9", handles the ball, eyes up kind of a player, wants to get to the rim. You pair that with a De'Aaron Fox and a Steph Castle, 2 other dudes, eyes up, want to get to the rim. Suddenly you got a thing that you go, if we can round into form, we can compete with these dudes.
Yeah, no doubt. I am starting to come around on – I mean, it is a sort of a position – like I wish that he played a position that the Spurs had more of a need at. But at some point, you just draft good players and you figure it out. And who cares who's bringing the ball up the court? You know what I mean?
Yeah, who's finishing is what we want to talk about.
If you got a bunch of great players, they're going to be fine playing a lesser role or doing whatever it takes to win a title, and that would be the hope for a team like that. So, no, I've come around on the idea of adding Dylan Harper to this team. And remember earlier in the season when you were telling me how great Cooper Flagg was, I was like, man, about the first month of the season, I watched Cooper Flagg real close and I watched Dylan Harper real close, and I was like, I think I might want Dylan Harper more than Cooper Flagg. As the season went on, I see the Cooper Flagg. I don't know that I see it as like this is the next LeBron or Wemby or whatever. I don't know that he's that level to me, but I see he's the clear number 1 in this class. But Dylan Harper is unquestionably, Dylan Harper's closer to Cooper Flagg than he is to whoever the 3rd guy is on your list.
No question.
Whether it's Ace Bailey or VJ Edgecombe, whoever it is, Dylan Harper's better than that guy, I promise you.
And there'll be some bumps. I mean, he's still a kid. I mean, whoever brings him in and plays him a lot, if the Spurs keep him, do expect there'll be some dry spells and some bad minutes because he has to learn to shoot. But he is the legitimate number 2 overall dude.
Yeah.
No question. And there's so much there to be developed. I mean, he is well above the average in a lot of the things that are required to be an NBA baller. I mean, he has those small skills that will get him on the court initially.
All right. You guys distracted me from talking the game tonight. There is an NBA Finals game tonight, baby.
Is there going to be a game or just an exhibition of expertise?
I am hoping it's an exhibition of expertise. I'm hoping it is an absolute bludgeoning, but and I kind of expect it to be. But you've done a good job of at least playing devil's advocate to the other side of things.
It's getting harder. It's getting harder to do.
I think Tyrese Halliburton, who has gotten, and deservedly so, gotten a lot of love in these playoffs. I think if we look what do you expect from Tyrese? I think everything that you've been expecting, you need to drop those expectations because the defense he's about to run into is going to be focused on making him make mistakes.
And he hasn't figured – in the 2 games this year, one was like 18 and the other one was 4.
Yeah.
He hadn't figured them out.
He has not figured them out. I think that the best defense they saw so far in these playoffs was probably Cleveland, which is not – I mean, they're good, but not –
but a very different kind of defense.
Yes.
I mean, against Cleveland, you're funneled to that front wall and they dare you to shoot over them.
I would argue that this is the best defense that's been in the NBA in probably 5 years.
Oh, at least. No doubt.
Maybe
no
even
doubt.
longer.
You know, the Heat could turn it up with those dudes. I mean, they were capable of going man-to-man, but even those guys were a little bit older than these guys. These guys are young, dedicated, and they love the idea that they star in their role, that they legitimately are rock stars like Caruso for playing defense. I mean, so there's a lot of want to, and there's glory at the end of the road for doing your job. So, yeah, they're committed. They love it. I mean, it's raw meat to them. They're chasing it.
So, to me, Tyrese Halliburton, if you've got expectations for him in this series, I would temper them. I'm like on Prize Picks, whatever you play on Underdog, I'd look at lower on, particularly on assists, which I think I saw was set at 9.5. There's no way he's getting double-digit assists against his team in Game 1.
The only way it happens is if the Pacers come out shooting like lights out, because he's not going to get assists going to the rim. He's going to get assists.
Yep.
They're going to jump him. He's going to D up, and he's going to have to desperate or find an open dude. And if the open dudes are hitting shots, it's possible. But then they haven't been able. They're not a great shooting team. They're a great scoring team, and there's a big difference.
Yeah. Well, I think that he's going to be taken – I don't want to say taken out of the series. I think he's going to be very limited in this series. And I think the guys for OKC that have been the guys for OKC are going to continue to be. We've talked about Shea. We talked about Chet, and I think Chet is going to have a big series just because I think Miles Turner can't play defense, and that's their best chance to slow him down.
The funny thing is, I don't expect Miles Turner to guard Chet. I think they're going to keep Miles closer to the rim. I think
But that's what I've thought. But look what he did against Cat. Look what he did against Jared Allen.
I mean, I think that they're without Miles Turner in there at the rim. There's nobody else on this bench. I mean, there's really nobody that I can trust. So I've got to keep Turner out on the court to grab whatever rebounds I can get, especially on the offensive side. And I don't want him to foul out. I just don't think I put him on unless. And then on the other side of that is if he's ain't coming out to me, I'm gonna put Chet down there in the paint and they eat him up.
Yeah.
So I think Miles is in for a long tournament.
Your thoughts on if you're the Pacers coach and we say, okay, who are we throwing at Jalen Williams game 1? What's your answer?
Naismith.
I mean,
I have to have the bouncy dude on him.
Then who's on Shea?
If it's me, honestly, and I was talking with a friend of mine 2 days ago. I'm jumping the ball. Whoever is bringing the ball up, I'm jumping that. I'm doubling it. I'm trying to get the ball out of the first ball handler. I want to get them moving. And then once that happens, I do everything in my power to keep it out of Gilgeous's hands. If he's the recipient, I'm jumping him, I'm doubling him. And the true art form of this is everybody knows to get the ball out of Shea's hands. The great coaches bring those dudes from places that are unexpected. And that's what I expect to see Carlisle do. Where is the double team going to come from? Is it going to come from somebody obvious, somewhat evident? Is it come from a backside? Is it the little nuances that you're going to have to employ are going to make or break this series? Because if you can't get the ball out of Gilgeous's hands, you have lost the game in the series. You cannot win.
So to me, if Aaron Naismith isn't on Shea, I'm shocked. Like I feel like he's their only chance to even slow SGA down.
I think I look at it like everybody's on Shea, but I can't let whoever brings the ball up, I'm jumping. And if it's Shea, then I'm keeping with the double. If it's not, I do everything I can. So it's not like one dude's going to be guarding him. The athleticism that I need to have to guard Williams will help in the Shea offense, but I don't know where the double team's going to come from. So I have a feeling you're going to see Naismith coming, but he won't be the first defender. I want to clog up the system, and I want to get the ball out of his hands and force other dudes to beat me. And if I can do that, I got a fighting chance, but nobody's been able to do it so far.
Because I've tried, and in my mind, I just assumed Naismith does his best to lock up Shea. And then I said, well, what do they do with Jay Will? And then it was like, Siakam is too slow. Nembhard is too small. There's just not really an answer.
Well, the other part of this is Naismith has to score for me. I've got to.
So now you're asking him to check the two best guys.
Not their best guy. That's why I'm saying Jay Will, the second best guy, the other dude. And if I can have him guarding the other dude and D'ing up, but also in transition, getting him open, because he's my best three-point shooter. He's shooting at 50%. I need a lot of offense from him because I do expect them to do the same thing to my point guard. I expect them to jump Halliburton and force Naismith and Nembhard to do some stuff. So I gotta conserve here. And I do think of all the wild cards in this series, it's Naismith because he's athletic enough to guard a couple of dudes. He's by far their best shooter. And that kind of combination, if you get a hot game from him, one of those others, especially tonight, you might give yourself a fighting chance. And he's that one dude who I know is capable of having an explosive 9 3-point game kind of night, that he can find a heater. And if he can do that, it'll rescue a lot of other problems. But some of that is keeping him out of trouble. And when you're guarding Shea, you're going to give fouls. I mean, he's going to go to the free throw line. Refs give it to him. He is a merchant. So I got to protect him from that.
I think they may have to make the decision on, do we either, and this is crazy, do we sit Siakam for a good chunk of time?
No, I need his offense, man. Okay. He's my leading scorer.
Then you may have to sit Nembhard and play more Ben Mathurin, because
that is where I can see changing. But if that's the case, if I do that, man, oh man, do I lose a lot of my offensive strategy, because the strategy with Carlisle has been, you know what, if they're going to commit to getting the ball out of Halliburton's hands, I got a hell of a point guard who can handle on the other side of the court, so I can reinitiate my offense. If you can do that, good luck to you.
All right, we'll continue discussing this game on the other side. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Blue Bonnet Bunk and Biscuit. I was by there 2 days ago, and the response to from all of my friends regarding this place has been crazy. You want to learn the value of a place where you would take your most valuable babies, your dogs, your cats? Go just drop by and see what the places look like. Go just stop in any point of the day and go see where the pet resort, are they truly the resort they say they are? I stopped by just in the middle of the day just to see what was happening at Blue Bonnet Bunk and Biscuit right there off 35, and there is no better place to take your babies. Let me tell you, they offer full service. You've got cameras in the small little rooms. They've got story time and cuddle time with your dogs. They've got outside playrooms. They play in misters. They got inside play. They've got all the things you're looking for at a valuable rate. You need to go by and see it. If you're day boarding your babies, or if you're heading out on a trip, no matter for the weekend, for a week, or whatever, you can trust that they are going to take care of yours like you would take care of yours. That is Blue Bonnet Bunk and Biscuit. They are the official pet resort of the San Antonio Sports Star. If you're heading out of town, there's no better place to take them. Go by and see them. They're at 16302 I-35, just outside of 1604. Take that Olympia Parkway exit, go through a couple lights. They're right there on the right-hand side. Easy to get to and ready to take care of your babies. Go check them out at mybunkandbiscuit.com. Head over there and take your babies, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few stalls. 35 northbound at 1604. That one's off to the shoulder. Another at 410 northbound Old Pearsall Road and 410 southbound at Ingram. All of these stalls off to the shoulder. Your main lanes are getting by. On 35 southbound, this is some ongoing road work. Olympia Parkway on down to 1604, and that does have the roadway reduced to one lane. Downtown, a closure on 35 southbound, Alamo on down to Laredo Street. This is due to road work. And then on the upper level, we've got 2 left lanes closed. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad, like a free Blackstone 8-piece accessory kit when you buy a Blackstone 28-inch griddle. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Guys, it's summertime. Carbox got you covered with summertime beers. Whether it's the Love Street Blonde Kolsch Ale, the Rhubarb, which is their latest Fun Series beer, or a Ziegenbach, Crawford Bock, whatever you're looking for, there's something for everybody's taste in Carbox lineup. Check them out at all your local stores.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is finally here. It seems like it's been forever, but the NBA Finals start tonight.
What is going on with C.J. Stroud's shoulder? We'll ask John McClain when he joins us at 5:15.
And we'll try to dissect what happened at the City Council meeting yesterday involving Project Marvel.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Uh-oh. You left the camera on during break, Edwin? Breaks when I pick my boogers, man.
What are we doing?
sitting here. I kept my clothes on this break, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, I almost did something I probably shouldn't have when I was in here. So
what was that?
You're never gonna know.
Public masturbation.
I was like, what?
Edwin's been arrested for that multiple times already.
Oh. Convicted?
We're the only
convicted.
Never lost. Not convicted, but we're the only people that will hire him. So there's that.
He had a waiver.
His parole officer was like,
we get tax credits.
Unlikely to do it again, but
I'll be all right.
When I say unlikely, I really mean likely.
Just keep him in the box.
And I was like, okay, well, whatever, man. All right. As we were talking more during the break about how they're going to match up in this game, and the question is, will the Thunder have much need for Isaiah Hartenstein on the court? And I'd contest they probably don't. In this matchup particularly, it doesn't feel like they really. I mean, maybe if they want to body up Miles Turner, they want to.
That's what they would.
They want to push him around a little. They can.
And there's some method to that madness, but I don't think that Hartenstein is going to be a necessary requirement. To win
I don't think
series.
so either. And this is OKC's at a luxury here now too, because they don't have to worry about giving up fouls with their bigs. Remember in the Denver series when it was like they had to be real careful because if Hartenstein got in foul trouble, he'd be off, and then it was like, okay, now we got to be careful with Chet because Jokic was such a beast. Now you don't have to worry about that. It's like you could if you want to foul Miles Turner. I don't know why you would, but if you want to foul Miles Turner a whole bunch, go ahead. Just play as physical as you want with him because you don't need both those bodies on the floor at the same time.
And Turner's had he still leads the playoffs in blocks. I mean, he's still getting blocks, but he's been forced out of position in 2 consecutive series. And he just offensively has been a victim, or defensively has been a victim away from the rim. And he's coming against his worst nightmare. You don't want him to – I can't even have him out there on Chet. I can't let him leave. I need him to block shots. I'm not a very good defensive team. He's my back wall. He protects the rim. So I think that Hartenstein might be utilized as more of let's just beat on this dude for a little while kind of a guy more than anything else because he's been a non-entity, and if he does become something, you can kind of pound on him. I don't think that the front line is going to play a huge role in this series. I think Chet's going to do what he wants when he wants, but they're not necessarily going to even need him to do much.
It sucks because like normally I want to sit here and have a discussion of who has to be where for the Pacers to pull this off, and I just can't even
we started.
I can't bring myself to come up with ridiculous scenarios.
Well, when you start the defensive discussion, you go, okay, so we start on defense and we put Dort on Halliburton. That's about 35% of the game. That's about 35% of my problem. I have the torture chamber. If he ain't the best on-ball defender in the league, he's in the top 5.
Yeah.
And he's going against a guy who is light, who can get knocked off of his dribble. It's a worst-case scenario. So I start my defense with my best dude on their best dude, and I like the matchup. Everything else gets a lot easier.
For sure.
So, yeah, I think a lot of people are going to have a bad night because Dort's going to cause Halliburton to have a bad night.
And as he goes, so has this offense gone.
What is it? 7-0 with 20 points or better. They're undefeated in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
I like the under in this game. At 231, first of all, just feels like a ridiculous number. I like the first half under. Generally, I think game 1 of a finals series, first half, there's a lot of nerves. These are almost all of these players, it's their first rodeo in the finals. If not, is there anybody who has finals experience?
Caruso's been around the block.
Okay.
But not in the finals. Siakam's got one with Toronto.
Okay.
So they've got a little bit. And that's, if I'm Carlisle and the Pacers, I know this, like you're talking about, this is the first game of the finals, and these are a bunch of kids. This is going to be chaotic and tight to start this thing.
Yeah.
You got to make your gravy right then. You got to get out there and punch them in the face early. If you get down on this team in that environment, you don't come back. There's not going to be 20-point comebacks.
No.
That ain't going to happen. You might get a 5-point comeback, but you need to jump them early and make them nervous. Get it early. And if you let them get out of the first quarter and they got a 4 or 5 point lead, you're doomed. It's over.
Yeah, I tend to agree because there's no 12-0 runs coming for the Pacers in this thing.
No, and the thing is, in
and the
Oklahoma
Thunder
City,
will have those types of runs.
They're gonna, just because of their crowd. I mean,
yeah,
we're talking about seasoned, old-time NBA guys that go into this arena and go, this is different, man. This is like a European final. This is like going to Duke with the Crazies. It's a different kind of feel. And they're worth that kind of role. They'll give you the momentum of a 6-point, 8-point little run just because their volume caused a turnover, a dead ball turnover, a live ball turnover. You can't afford to get behind. You've got to keep the crowd quiet and get them mad, get them screaming. That's an angry crowd. So let them start getting mad at you. Get a couple of dunks and create a couple of fouls just to let everybody know I'm here. So, but it has to happen fast, early. Don't let it get out and try to fight your way uphill in that kind of environment because you can't do it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Have you, as we've talked this out, have you changed your mind at all about what your expectations are for the Pacers?
If the Pacers play as best they can, it might go 6, but they're going to have to sustain and play. I see a gentleman's sweep. I see a Game 3 letdown, as is typical with Oklahoma City, and a fired-up home team. And they win Game 3, but this thing doesn't go more than 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go with a sweep, but I won't be shocked if they win one game.
But that's if they're playing good. You know, I don't think it'll be the typical Oklahoma City constant blowout. They are better than that, but I don't think it. I think 8 points is probably a pretty good line, home and away, all the way through.
Yeah,
you know.
Would you say they're better than that? I don't know. I don't know how good they are.
I mean, they're the best team, the third best team, the second best team that that Oklahoma City will see in the playoffs. Denver, I think, as we shook things out, was the second best team in the NBA, and Oklahoma City's already seen them, beaten them, and the next 2 series weren't hard.
Would we have thought a month ago that Indiana was better than Minnesota?
Oh, you know, in hindsight, I'd like to think I would have. I don't know.
I think it's just because we saw Oklahoma City do what they did to Minnesota that we go, oh, well, they weren't that good. And instead of giving OKC the credit for making a pretty good team look like dog water,
Yeah, I think that most of us were kind of hoping that this Oklahoma City thing was more of a regular season, take no prisoners, we'll play everybody to the last second, you know. And it isn't that. They're just really that good.
They really are.
They don't need to try that hard to beat you that badly because they've got guys that, you know, 2 of these guys are going to show up every night. Every night, 2 of them are going to show up offensively. It might not always be Shea. It normally is. But you always have that fear, and then it's the defense that never stops.
And my favorite thing as a sports bettor, particularly, is a team that takes no prisoners.
Yeah, they never stop.
They don't look to just beat you. They're looking to, especially in the first games of these series, they're looking to assault you. They want to humiliate you.
But it's not intentional. It's just those guys play that kind of defense. I don't think they're doing it to embarrass you. That's just their job. You know, I saw an interview with Caruso yesterday, and he's talking about, yes, I have one job. I know why I'm here and why they're paying me. It's to play defense. He's not doing it to embarrass you, but I'll tell you what, he's going to play defense until the whistle blows. And that's not malicious, but it's not like the NBA either. You know, the NBA, if it's over, it's kind of over. Go get yours has always been kind of the game. Not Oklahoma City. You don't get to go get yours.
Do you remember Game 1 in the Nuggets-Thunder series when the Nuggets came back and won that game? They won by 2 points, something like that, in Oklahoma City, and it was a huge win, huge upset, and everybody started panicking. And then Game 2, Oklahoma City came out, and I think they scored 150 points. If not, they were right at 150, and they beat them by 45 points, just humiliated them. And they were like,
that's
just their mindset. It's we're going to go out and we're going to, you might think, okay, this is the time where they're going to sit their starters. No, it's not. We're going to keep rolling on you.
But there is, for those that are looking for an edge or something on the side, they do have games like you just talked about. They have in their bag of tricks games where they're a bunch of kids that aren't ready to go. And it's happened in every series. It happened in the Denver series We saw it happen against Minnesota there for a game that there's some games that just ain't there. But they have the confidence in knowing, it ain't here today, but it'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they'll let it get away. And you walk into the locker room happy, but knowing full well, these dudes didn't even really try.
Right.
They kind of gave this one to us.
Yeah. It's just hard for me. Here's the other thing. Where's that? Who was the guy saying 7 hard-fought games against the Nuggets? Oh, here it goes. Diego. They beat Denver, but it took them 7 hard-fought games without a head coach. You know their average margin in that game? They outscored the Nuggets by 66 points in the series. It wasn't that hard-fought.
It was one bad game.
Yeah. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
You guys are just some funny fools, man.
You can't drink all day if you don't start first thing in the morning.
Good job, sound like y'all are drinking like it's happy hour. It's almost 9 o'clock in the morning.
It's ironic. And Daryl, if you have a weakness for the sauce.
It sounds like Uncle Tito showed up a little early there.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off. Free UPS shipping and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
School's out, summer's in, and that vacation countdown is officially on. But what about your four-legged MVP? Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit in Selma has your furry family member covered. Daycare, boarding, grooming, and training, they've got it all. They're built for your pet's health, happiness, and tail-wagging good times. If you're in the military, your teacher, or your first responder, they've got barking good exclusive discounts. So go ahead, book that trip, hit the beach, crush your summer plans. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit has your pet in good hands. Because home away from home isn't just for humans. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits in Selma.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening this Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And vacation you forgets all your worries.
Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man.
But regular you knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet.
Vacation You and regular you really need to get on the same page.
So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working this trouble spot on 37 northbound at Hagberry. Some debris in the roadway. We've got 2 right lanes blocked. On 35 northbound at 1604 northeast side of town, disabled vehicle off to the shoulder. We've got this road work 35 southbound from Olympia Parkway on down to 1604 that's got the roadway reduced to 1 lane, so expect a little bit of a delay. Southbound 35 from FM 3009 to Padbooka Road, almost a 20-minute commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA Finals begin tonight right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Oklahoma City plays host to the Indianapolis Pacers. It's a Gilgeous-Alexander MVP versus Tyrese Halliburton upstart game. Pre-game fun starts at 6:30. In other NBA news, Commissioner Adam Silver announced that the 2026 All-Star Game will showcase some version of Team USA versus the world. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
8:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Rob is thinking of a person and he can't place him, and it's gonna ruin you, Rob.
It will be.
It'll be the death of you.
It's happening more and more often too.
Well,
as I age. You know that guy who looks like that guy who played on that team?
He's the guy.
You remember him? And a friend who looked funny?
It's like it is like a Seinfeld episode. You'll ask me things like that and be like,
remember?
And I'm like, I've got no idea what you're talking about.
He had he walked, he had a limp. You don't remember him?
Yeah, I don't know. You threw some at me, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I know what you're saying.
Well, whoever he is, he just won a title in some international league, and I want the Spurs to bring him in. Played somewhere in Louisiana, played on Team USA, left-handed big, about 6'9", light-skinned, baller, fun guy to watch, just won a title. We were just talking about filling rosters up over the break, and that guy came to mind.
Okay.
But I can't find him, so.
He's a made-up person.
He might not even be real. He might be one of my 2K guys.
He was in FIBA?
Yeah, he played for Team USA. I remember him having a great game against Wemby back when they were...
Like in 2023 FIBA you're talking about?
It was 20... might have been before that. It might have been under 18U, but that would have been it, right?
Well, I'm thinking of like the FIBA World Cup, but...
Yeah, it would have been, but it would have been World Cup for the kids. I don't think Wemby was on Team France at this point.
Okay,
this would have been 18U or 16U. There he is. Kenny Lofton.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you.
Where did he play, Auburn?
Was that? I see. It was
Louisiana Tech.
It was Louisiana Tech. I couldn't. It was either McNeese. I couldn't figure.
Kenneth Lofton Jr.
He is a bucket, man.
Really? And he just won a Euro title?
Yeah, and they showed him holding a trophy, and I don't know if it was a Serie A 2 or 3, wherever he was, but he completely dominated his league, as is typical. But it was points, rebounds.
The Shanghai Sharks.
There we go. Which is an A-level team.
Wow. Wow. He's 6'6" and he was punking Wemby.
Yeah, he's an undersized dude, which is his trouble because
Well,
he's got to have
an
to
undersized
defend
height dude.
But yeah, he uses his space to advantage. But he's an offensive machine. But at 6'6", it's just not big enough.
Yeah, MVP of the Shanghai Sharks Chinese Basketball Association Championship.
Wasn't Jimmer on that team too at one point, and we brought him in from Shanghai.
Maybe so. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's not a nothing win.
No, I mean, that's a high-level league, but, I mean, even the best dudes like Kenny probably don't have a place in the league. But more power to him. I digress.
Okay.
Thanks, Andwood. Thanks, Edwin.
He's 22 now, just so you know. He scored a game-high 40 points in the championship game. So that's pretty strong. 14 of 26 from the field, 12 boards, too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, not Barkley, but Barkley-esque.
Yeah. What a guy. What a guy, Kenny Lofton. Not the same one
that
played for the Cleveland Indians.
Or no, yeah, right, not the hitter either. Wasn't there Kenny Lofton?
James Lofton.
That's right.
What Buffalo Bills legend, James Lofton.
Yeah, I shouldn't have even.
What?
I mean, you're a Buffalo Bills guy. I should have. I mean, you'd have known that right off the bat.
Yes. All right. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop trying to pretend like the Pacers have a chance here. And I'm going to ask you a hypothetical. What would the Pacers need to add to become a championship-level team? Because I contest if Tyrese Halliburton is your best player, you aren't a championship team. If Pascal Siakam is your best player, you aren't a championship team.
No.
Those are your great number 2 and 3 guys. I think they need, why they're not talking about Giannis or something like that is odd to me.
Yeah, but there's a reason why there's only 5 of these guys in the world, and there's 30 basketball teams. I think I don't know what you could do. Maybe their parts are pretty good. I mean, they've got a second point guard. They've got some off-the-ball scoring. Nesmith seems to be on the rise and could be replacing Siakam as Siakam ages out, but Siakam's still their leading scorer. Miles Turner is an adequate big. I guess if I was thinking, what do I need to go get? A guy like Naz Reid, a big that might help down in the paint and peripheral scoring. But, this is a team that made the East Finals. I think given the current situation, I can't – what it would take for me to go get one of the top 5, I'd be a lesser team. I wouldn't be where I am now. I think they got to roll with what they got and hope for the best with the other teams, like an injury at a bad time, a suspension, a guy who wants suddenly out. I mean, the Pacers are kind of who they're going to be.
The Pacers were the only team in the NBA that allowed fewer transition opportunities than the Thunder in the regular season. OKC had the league's lowest turnover rate in the regular season. Indiana had the 3rd lowest. Both of them are slightly better in the postseason than they were in the regular season. The big glaring difference is one of these teams also forces a ton of turnovers.
Right.
The Thunder, obviously, the great defensive team, force them. The Pacers do not.
The Pacers get the ball out of the net and go.
So if I said if the Pacers can keep the turnover differential in this series to about 2-3 per game,
that's not
they're
possible.
in it.
Well, yeah. But if I was half my weight and had longer arms, I might be able to fly. I mean, what? Yeah, 3 turnovers a game against that team?
Just trying
it's not possible.
No, I'm saying the differential.
Okay.
You give up this many, we give up this many.
If they, I tell you this, any more than 15, you're doomed. I mean, if you're getting any more than 3 or 4 turnovers, if you're getting more than 4 turnovers a quarter, you're doomed. You can't. You got to come in under 10, and in the fourth quarter, you can afford 1. The ball is the most valuable thing in the world. It's your virginity. Don't lose it. You can't get it back.
The most valuable thing in the world, huh?
Well, that's what my coach used to say. You lose that, you don't get it back.
Okay,
that's one time gone.
I guess that's true. But he never called it the most valuable thing.
Well,
in the
he was
world,
like, you treat it like that because once it's gone, it's gone.
In the first matchup between these two teams, the Pacers turned it over 11 times. The Thunder turned it over 3.
Yeah, see that, and that's because the Pacers, they stress get the ball out of the net, and speed down the court, transition them, and be smart about your passing. OKC turns you over at the timeline and goes and lays the ball up.
I just don't know how OKC or how Indiana competes without transition, and OKC just doesn't allow it.
You're going to have to cheat. You're going to have to send a dude out. You're going to have to play a little snowbird action. You're going to have to guard that releases as soon as the shot goes up, and you're going to have to hope your 4 dudes can get the ball. You're going to have to do those little things that either bite you in the ass or keep you in the game.
SRS says something that I completely disagree with. He says, I believe the Pacers have a chance, and that chance is not just a puncher's chance. The others, quote, others on the Pacers have more grit than those of OKC.
Like
if we're talking about the others on OKC, the guys I think of are Lou Dort and Alex Caruso and Isaiah Joe, and they have more grit.
Wallace.
They have more grit than everybody.
Well, we talk about all this
they
defense.
are is grit.
And Cason Wallace is, he's young, but he's also one of the best on-ball defenders in the league. Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins is a big, bouncy, mobile dude. There's just so much. And yes, Indiana has a good contingent of deep dudes, and they do play kind of the same style in the way the substitution pattern and the number of guards they're willing to play on the court at given times, but it ain't the same. You ain't like them. They ain't like us. I mean, OK City is just bigger, better, badder when it comes to that kind of defensive pressure. The Pacers just don't have it. They're deep. They got some dogs. There's a reason they're here, but the numbers don't lie. And I'm the first guy to go numbers. This is a vacuum. This is tonight. It's not what happened yesterday, but the numbers don't lie. It is just a fortress of defense that they roll out. And it's not angry defense. It's just great defense.
Yeah. They're I've been saying they're criminally undervalued, and I think a lot of it is because they're not the best offense they're not what modern offense is. They're not, shooting a bunch of threes. They're not doing what the Warriors did when they were great. This is a team built on defense first. Their defense creates a lot of their offense.
Yes.
But I do think that because we've been almost trained to think, well, this is what great teams look like. The Celtics shooting a million threes, that's not necessarily what it is. There are different ways to build great teams. People in San Antonio should know that better than anybody. And
they built it the right way, AJ. It's the way they do it though doesn't make highlights. The defense, you're not going to show 30 seconds, 3 minutes of the defensive prowess that OKC offers every night. You don't pay attention to that. Coaches see it for 48 minutes, but it just doesn't make our highlights. Those guys never stop. And to have a successful and well-run play is one of those things that happens every 5 minutes. You just don't get it very often. So you have to manufacture so much, and you have to be so diligent with the ball, knowing full well you can play a great 46-minute game, but that 2 minutes was worth 15 points, and you lost by 10.
Diego says Pacers in 7. Good news, Diego. If you want to go out there and make a wager on that, you can turn $100 into $1,500 just by getting that outcome.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Just by getting that outcome. That is the third least likely outcome according to the odds. The only things less likely are Pacers in 5, which would be 30-1, and the Pacers in a sweep, which would be 45-1. Boy, that's a healthy payout. And if the Pacers sweep the Thunder, then, man, I'm never going to talk about the NBA again because I don't know anything.
Well, that and some tragedies occurred.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about something else.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
Something's
going on. But, I'm not too concerned about that. I'm really not. There's just too many things that we've had to go, well, if this were to happen, if this were to happen, if this happens.
Too many ifs, man.
Too many ifs. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I'm going to give away some tickets. I've got some Live Nation $30 ticket to summer tickets to give away. We'll do that on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Kinetico Water Softener has been part of my San Antonio life for as long as I can remember. My family or I have had a Kinetico Water Softener. It's not because we don't look around. It's because we know we've already got the very best. And, when you hear that this is the best, because Kinetico is, they've got the awards to prove it, made in the United States. They work uniquely. They don't plug in. They work off kinetic energy, saves you power, saves you salt, only works when you do. All the benefits there. And you think it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, and that's not the case at all. Right now, if you want to find out what I'm talking about, you want to prove me right or wrong, call 656-PURE. They'll come out and Kinetico will come out to your home, put a brand new water softener in your home if you're already plumbed for it. And you can find out for the next 90 days what I'm talking about. When you decide to buy with approved credit, no money down, you got several years to pay. They're going to give you some money for your old water softener and give you a gift, a reverse osmosis drinking station right there on your sink. They got the decor to match yours. It'll save you money with the water bottles. No more of those in your life. Ready water, ready filtered, right at your sink all the time. So what are you waiting on? Call 656-PURE today. Get the very best in your home, and you can come on by and thank me later. There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi. I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyer4us.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat $1 billion insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community when and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, $1 billion insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyer LawyerForUs.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is finally here. It seems like it's been forever, but the NBA Finals start tonight.
What is going on with C.J. Stroud's shoulder? We'll ask John McClain when he joins us at 5:15.
And we'll try to dissect what happened at the City Council meeting yesterday involving Project Marvel.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
SRS says Pacers, long and tall. OKC doesn't have a solid number 2 guy like Siakam. In crunch time, the Pacers have 2 go-to guys. OKC really only has 1. You and I see Siakam and or Jalen Williams in a very different light because I would take Jalen Williams over Siakam 10 times out of 10.
Pascal's an old
good player. Don't get me wrong.
Dog,
yeah,
man. And he's their leading scorer, but I don't see what you see. You're right in that there isn't a guaranteed second to Shea. There isn't that obvious second.
Right.
But there's a lot of dudes that play that role. There's a lot of dudes that can step. And Jay Will is certainly growing into this, brother. I mean, he certainly looks like a Scottie Pippen to me. I don't know what else you're looking for, but for a young dude to fill the void like he can, who can play defense the way he does, can shoot the way he does, and do all the other little things that second-best players do, he looks pretty good to me.
Yeah. I'm not sure that, and especially if you go past the first 2 guys. I mean, you're talking as you get deeper and deeper. OKC, they just keep coming. And also, to say a go-to guy, even Halliburton, I don't care who it is, none of those guys are on the level of Shea. Like, they're not even close.
No.
There's one true great player in this series. Great player. And he plays for Oklahoma City. Now, after that, you want to say, like, well, who's got more secondary options? All right, there's a discussion to be had maybe. But no, I just can't from a personnel standpoint. Like, your bet, to me, if you're trying to convince me the Pacers have a chance here, your best shot is to convince me that Rick Carlisle and his experience in this situation gives them an edge that OKC can't match.
And I'm not going to dispute that there's some dudes on the Pacers. Mathurin looks like a guy who's coming. And Obi Toppin is an NBA machine. There is some there in Indiana. But the problem is there's just not enough of it. They're going to compete hard, but they just don't have enough of those good dudes. Once you get past, T.J. McConnell, I think, is going to be a victim in this series. I don't think there's just going to be a lot for him to do other than dribble the ball out of double teams. I just don't see a lot coming from that part of the bench. Thomas Bryant, there's not a lot of place for him in this series. I don't know where he's going to come from. So without Jarris Walker, who's if he's out tonight, which I do expect him to be, they're going to be kind of shorthanded. There's good dudes. Yes, they have fought through and they got some old vets. There's just not enough. It's just not.
Jalen Williams is an all-NBA player, SRS. He's like,
he got the look and feel of a Batman, Robin, however you want to define a second-best player on a team. He does all of that and is an all-NBA defender.
Where Siakam was 3-4 years ago, third-team all-NBA, that's where Jalen Williams is now.
So, no, and that's not disparaging Pascal. He's their best offensive player.
He's just not.
He ain't Jay Will.
No, I think the 2 best players, in fact, I think the 2 best players on OKC are better than the best player on Indiana.
Yeah, but that's not, that's no disgrace.
No.
We're talking about an MVP.
But I'm saying I'd take Jalen over Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
It's obviously apples and oranges.
But yeah, I agree with that. But, when you start looking at, when you're trying to find a way, and there seems like a lot of Pacer fans or non-OKC fans.
I think that's what it is.
Non-OKC fan. How? And you go, okay, They're going to have to take Gilgeous out. They're going to have to run. They're going to play some defense. Well, if they're going to do that, then guys that you don't normally talk about are going to have great series, like Obi Toppin, like Benedict Mathurin. Those guys are going to have to play so much ahead or above of what they've brought. It's another one of those ifs. And they have.
Mathurin played great against Cleveland. Obi played great against the Knicks. Like it's not like it's.
Can we get 4 games of them both doing it at the same time? It's those ifs that you go, yeah, they do have the guys that if they all play at their best all the time and they don't turn the ball over and they find some shooting, they can hit some threes, and they get a couple of guys in Oklahoma City in trouble, foul trouble, or whatever the case may be, they can compete. Can they do it 4 times? Can they do it twice or 3? Well, they're going to have to do it 3 times in Oklahoma City. Can they do that? And you go, no. It just, that's why the numbers say, what is it, minus 700 now?
Yeah.
Come on. The last team was the Lakers back in 2004. Now, they gave up a game.
Yep.
Lakers gave up a game. But the numbers this time aren't lying. They're not just in a vacuum. They're that freaking good.
Do you think over-under games where we see Indiana go to a zone like Denver did?
I think Carlisle will throw a bunch of stuff against the wall. I wouldn't be surprised to see a boxing one on Shea every now and again. I think you got nothing to lose. You got to do everything you can to ward off those runs, to protect your team, to keep yourself away from those 8-point turnover runs where you're suddenly down and you're climbing back up a sliding, loose mountain. You just can't find your step.
Because if you did want to try and come up with a weakness for the Thunder, it is that they are not a great shooting team.
Yeah, they get discombobulated sometimes for a couple of minutes. And for full games, they can't shoot, but they've always been able to find their way out because they're turning you over. Yeah, they're missing their shots, but they're getting the ball back. They got 6 more possessions than you do suddenly.
Yeah, I think you want to try and force them to take some threes. I just don't, again, it's easier said than done.
Okay, so how do you beat them? We got to get out and run. We got to move. We can't let them settle in on defense or they're just going to squash us. So got to get the ball out of the net. We're going to have to cheat some guys back. Suddenly, when you do that, though, there went the double on Gilgeous. There went the double coming to Shea. There went the help going to Jalen because you're cheating back trying to get a basket. Then you gave up one and didn't get one. It's one of those silent turnovers where you tried to do something. You didn't turn the ball over, but it was a wasted possession because it was ill-timed. So those little things just add up to 12, 15-point losses, no matter how good you are.
The other thing, the Pacers are a good defensive team. I don't think they're anything special. I will say they do something that I like, which is and I especially like it in college, constant ball pressure. Mm-hmm. Like you put pressure on ball handlers, make them make mistakes.
But they press you not to turn you over, but to speed you up.
Yeah.
There's a very different kind of pressure.
And they did a great job against Brunson with that. But is pressure defense against Shea?
You're inviting free throws.
Minnesota tried that and got chewed up.
Well, you're inviting free throws. And, yeah. You have to defend without fouling, and you have to let the refs give you a little bit of a break because he's not a merchant. He gets fouls.
And plus, he's coming off these high pick and rolls, and there's all this empty space in front of him. And then if you lower the point where you're picking him up, you've got a better, at least he's in more of there's more bodies down there. I just don't know if their defensive strategy that has kind of covered up the fact that they don't have a bunch of great individual defenders. I don't know if it works against this team.
They've got a bunch of athletic bodies. Individual on-ball defenders, no. But you've got guys like Mathurin and Toppin and Nesmith who are big physical dudes that can at least be in position. They're not the dogs that Dort and Caruso are, but they're solid defenders just because they're big and athletic and have the lateral quickness to defend. But can they defend without fouling? And you better defend minus fouling when you're dealing with a guy like Shea. He picks up fouls. You foul him. You don't mean to, and he gets the benefit of the doubt, especially at Oklahoma. So you got to do everything great and then some. And to get the ball out of Shea's hand, let me tell you, if Shea has the ball in any possession and is able to dribble the ball 3 times, you're in trouble. It's already you've already lost that possession because he's already setting his other dudes up. You're late on your double team, and you're already into the offense if you let him dribble 3 times.
And I think something I expect to happen tonight, too, a different look for OKC than we've seen. I say this like I'm some sort of insider. I've got no idea. I wouldn't be surprised if Caruso starts tonight and Hartenstein comes off the bench.
It wouldn't shock, especially if you look at total minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if Hartenstein's in there just to pound on Miles a little bit, just to beat him up.
Maybe
you know
so.
What I mean?
And maybe you don't want to change things up going into the finals, but
total minutes, Hartenstein is kind of superfluous. He's going to play a goon role. He's going to play a physical role, but he's not going to be necessary.
I think you're going to see a lot of Alex Caruso in this series, a lot more than you saw in the last series.
Him, Dort, and Wallace on the court at the same time, especially when Shea's taking a breather. We'll see that a lot more than big dudes, for sure.
I think so, too. All right, let's give away these tickets. Live Nation with their $30 ticket to Summer Series going on this summer. How about Slightly Stupid? Edwin? Yeah.
Is this them?
This is. They're like a...
Song's called 2 a.m.
They got a little Sublime feel to them. Yeah. I don't know for certain if there's going to be people smoking reefer in this crowd.
That's not legal.
I know. I don't know if there's going to be criminals in the crowd is what I mean. But I bet there's probably at least one or two.
They got kind of a... They're out of Long Beach. They got kind of a...
It's Sublime 2.0.
Yeah, very much. Kind of a lowrider feel, kind of a California beach. I'm down with this. I like these guys.
Where are they playing, Edwin? At the Germania?
Germania Amphitheater.
Yeah, at the F1 track. You want to go see them in Austin? Let's go caller number 4.
It's July 11th, by the way.
Thank you. You could have written that on the screen, and then I could have told people that, but I know your goal is to make me look bad.
I thought you knew.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I heard you and Rob talking when I came in. You were like, hey, I'm going to do whatever I can to make AJ look like a clown today. Look like a dope.
They got a song named Chronic-itis.
What?
Or no, that's Cronkitis. I guess the same thing.
Oh, you think they're talking about
that stuff.
Like cracky knees?
Another song called This Joint. Another knee song.
Mm-hmm. They've got a, you know what? You know who'd be interested in this? Dr. Jason Garrett from Ross.
You'd think so. Maybe that's their theme. Any band that's got some sax going with it, hard to argue with them.
Well, let's take this opportunity to talk about Arosty, Rob.
You know, Dr. Jason Garrett of Arosty has been a friend of mine for quite some time. Nobody is more of an advocate for total health than he is. You know, and to stay healthy, to stay in the game, you got to make sure your parts are working. And so many of us deal with those little things that just keep us out of life, those little painful things. I say little, that's a relative term. Those painful things that will not allow us to get out and about. Maybe it's bad feet. Maybe you got lower back issues. Maybe it's a recent strain or sprain you picked up over the weekend that's just keeping you out of your life. If you're living with it, you need to go get it fixed, and that's where Arosty comes in. Arosty is a treatment program. It is attained by medical professionals above and beyond their normal training. So we're talking about private practice physicians. We're talking about chiropractors, physical therapists. All strive to achieve that Arosty certification because it tells the patients that they're highly trained experts in getting patients out of pain fast. And it's the things they don't do that are important because it has nothing to do with pills or medications to hide or dull the pain. It's not about surgery to prolong all of this. It's about getting you fixed and fixed as fast as possible. So how do you find out? You go see one. When you go see an Arosty professional, they accept most insurances. You don't need a referral, so you can go see them today. You're going to get a full evaluation. You're going to find out why you're hurting, and then they're going to fix the problem. And before you know it, you're back in the game. So what do you need to do? First of all, write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. You'll talk to a local person, and they'll find a provider close to you. Or you can just go pick your own map there at Arosty.com. But listen, don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call Arosty today. They're going to take care of you. And when they do, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few stalls as you head into your morning commute. 35 southbound approaching Angle. That stall off to the shoulder. 1604 westbound at Bitters. This one is taking up a main lane, right lane block. 1604 southbound at Calabria, that stall now off to the shoulder. And on Loop 410 westbound east, Rolling Ridge Drive, disabled vehicle that they quickly moved off a main lane. It's now off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Big cash giveaway, yeah. $250,000, yes. The next 10 months, GimmeTheVin.com is giving back. Everyone that sells us their car gets put in the drawing, and monthly we're pulling out $25,000 and giving it to you. So, not only are we the top of the market buyer, but you got a chance to win $25,000. That's what we mean by big cash giveaway. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Did you see the odds to be the next coach of the New York Knickerbockers?
This is an interesting thing, because the fact that there's a couple of possibilities, I can't imagine why you would even fire Tibbs without having a dude already. You know, you'd think they would already be announcing whoever they were bringing in, because to do that without a definite career path, or at least a path for your team to go, makes it even more short-sighted and stupid than it seemed at first. I mean, if you didn't already have a dude and you just fired, a guy that's your winningest coach in the last 25 years. You're about to hire your 20th coach of the 21st century, and it's 2025, and you didn't have a guy in mind? It makes this picture even worse.
The odds makers over at betonline.ag have opened up the odds on the next coach of the Knicks. Your favorite at even money, Mike Malone. Which kind of feels like, why'd you fire Tibbs if that's the guy you're going to hire?
But it would make sense. You had him available. You didn't want anybody else to get him. You liked what he did before. You liked the way he developed Joker. Maybe he can do that with Cat. He still has the same defensive, priorities. He doesn't play the defense the same way as Tibbs did, but obviously that matters to him. So there's a thread already there. But it's a retread. I don't see the difference. For me, the moment they fired him, and I know it's out there, and I know he doesn't want the job, but I thought, did someone talk to Jay Wright? Did somebody call Jay Wright? Because he's coached half this roster. He's an East Coast guy. He certainly will sell tickets and look smooth walking the garden floor, but he's not even in that running.
Jay Wright, 3-2, second favorite, plus 150.
If it isn't him, why? What are you doing?
You want one more name that I don't think is crazy?
Well, I thought, what's his name? Hurley might have been thrown in that mix.
He's 9-1. He's down the list a little bit, but Jeff Van Gundy, 6-1.
I am a fan of Jeff Van Gundy's. I always have been. He is a great NBA mind, and he has kept himself in the game. He coached Team USA. He's assisting in the game. He's a basketball lifer. He knows the sidelines. He believes in defense. He was part of some of the glory years. This is one of those few retreads where I wouldn't be upset at.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else would be mad at it. I don't think he's taking anybody's job. I'm not sure that a lot of people that everybody wants to be a head coach, and New York would be great, but there's a lot of people that are capable of taking over this gig. And this isn't about rebuilding. This is about title. I mean, that's all you're going to be judged on. So Van Gundy would know what he's getting into. And to me, if it ain't Jay Wright, who has his own issues, I would hire Van Gundy.
Yeah. Chris Quinn, 7-1. Taylor Jenkins, 8-1. Mm-hmm. Rick Brunson, 12-1. Mike Brown, 14-1.
That ain't gonna happen.
Now you're just getting into nonsense. Yeah. Mark Jackson, 16-1. Steve Nash, 22-1. Budenholzer and D'Antoni at 50-1. Oh, John Calipari, 45-1. Sam Cassell at 66-1.
See, he's a guy who deserves a gig. Not deserves. He's ready for one. And I would certainly interview Sam Cassell. But this is you are going to work for might be the worst owner in basketball, if not all of sports. I mean, Dolan is terrible.
Well, yeah, once the Clippers made a change.
I can't think of a guy who will, of an owner who will more actively undermine his team than Dolan. Like, literally call out former players. That whole thing with Oakley that he was going through. Not since Sarver, the owner with Phoenix.
Yeah.
There's just no worse owner in basketball than Jimmy Dolan. I mean, they're rich as all get out. I mean, there's got more money than anybody, but not a place I'd want to go stay and feel safe.
No, I'm with you on that. But I just thought it was interesting that those numbers were out and available.
It's funny, the trend now, and NBA is a copycat league. Look at all these young coaches that are hitting the Jeremy Ott kid that just got hired for Phoenix. I say kid, these are kids. The Dagnall now, Taylor, the young Adelman there in Denver, and Mitch Johnson here in San Antonio. The players are just barely older than the owners or the coaches are barely older than the players anymore.
Well, it started with Brad Stevens.
Exactly.
Like, he was like, it was like, man, this guy's like younger than some of the players.
And I think it does speak to the mentality of these young kids, these non-college coached kids who've never had to work for a coach that demanded that they get out of their comfort zone with genuine ramifications if they didn't. These guys played in high school. They're the best player on their high school team. They played 1 year in college, and they were the best guy on their college team. And then they get immediately drafted and have never gone through a grueling coach for years on end. They're just not used to the Tibbs. He never stops coaching me. He's not my friend. He's always coaching me. And Tibbs is gone. So while we look at Malone and Jay Wright is not a player-friendly coach.
Nope.
Jay Wright is a development coach. He's going to make you a better man whether you like it or not kind of a coach. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a young dude, one of those guys sitting on a bench someplace else that pops in there, because that seems to be the mentality that GMs are chasing right now.
For his take, when they asked Dan Hurley about his interest in it, he said, "We're not doing this again. Not another summer of this." Imagine that. Imagine. I was making jokes last year about Dan Hurley as UConn struggled last year, and Dan Hurley's wife just bitching at him all the time about,
could have been in L.A.
He should have been in L.A. eating at Nobu tonight, and instead we're going down to Pat's Pizza and getting the stupid hoagie named after you, like in stores. Then passing up 6 years and $70 million to go live in L.A.
He'd have been fired this year. He'd already be back in Connecticut.
You think?
Oh, man, he's such a hard ass. Those guys ain't going to put up with what he does. I
Maybe.
think he realizes now. I'm glad I ain't there.
I'll say this, though. Imagine you pass up on 6 years, $70 million to go coach LeBron, and then you take the Knicks job working for Dolan.
Working for Dolan. It's a much grittier job. I don't know if the job fulfillment might actually be better. Hurley might be ideally suited for New York.
I mean, he is from that area. That's his area, but
go to war, man. Give him the armor to go to war, and here you go, brother. Have some fun, because they're going to come at you, and he'll fight right back.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I'd be just miserable.
It would be pretty. I say pretty in the terms. It would be a good eye candy to see Jay Wright walking the sidelines in New York.
It would be fun.
There's a fit to it. It feels natural to have a dude that looks like he could have just had lunch at some Little Italy with Johnny Bag of Donuts. One of those. He might have mob ties. I'm not sure.
There's a story on CBS right now about the candidates that the Knicks may have interest in, and obviously Malone's name is on every list, but Jason Kidd came up, Ime Udoka came up. Now, obviously, they would have to ask permission from those teams to, and I'll tell you what, if Jason Kidd got the opportunity, I think he'd run.
You wonder how much was promised to him with this trade.
Exactly.
Because, dude, I'd have quit. If the story that I was handed was he was not consulted before the trade, if I'd have been the head coach and they traded him without me knowing, I'd have turned in my papers right then.
Yeah.
I'm obviously of zero concern to you guys. So if he's available, maybe he would fit the category of a player-friendly coach for sure.
Yep.
I mean, he certainly isn't Tibbs.
I can already tell you, the Rockets would tell the Knicks to piss off.
No, Udoka's not going to New York.
They were they're like building something. It's a coup that the Rockets got Ime Udoka. They're not going to let him walk away.
Well, it's also a style. I mean, they're getting rid of a hard ass. They're going to bring in another one?
Yeah.
I mean, the second biggest hard ass in the league is Ime.
But that's why look at the list of potential Knicks replacement coaches. They're all guys. Most of them are hard ass dudes.
Maybe Tibbs got fired for something other than that, but it just seems to me that that New York just wanted a breath of air. Like, get off our ass and let us go play some basketball every now and again.
Maybe so. Either way, I'm still baffled by the fact that they made that move. I don't think I don't think they're going to get their first choice. I don't think they're going to get a top tier guy.
I agree. Why? Why would I go there? Now, as a Spur fan, I'd call Tibbs today.
Oh, really?
Come sitting there. Are you kidding? He is the best defensive mind in basketball. I would call him today.
And
sit next to Mitch.
Oh, if I'm Tom Thibodeau, what am I saying?
Oh no, I'm just saying. I mean, he's got somebody to bake.
How about Mitch sits next to me? You want to do that?
Maybe, but you treat him like Saban does the wayward coaches who are still getting paid for their contract. Hey, come down to San Antonio, man. We'll pay you a little bit of money. All you got to do is coach defense. You don't even have to travel.
Yeah. And he's getting paid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we'll use this as the wayward school for unemployed coaches, like Alabama was for a minute. He is a brilliant tactician. I mean, he really is. So he's going to get another head coaching job soon.
Rick Carlisle said that he thought it was an AI made up story when he saw that Thibodeau got fired. He said Tom will certainly be fine. I don't think he's going to have any problems finding his next job. It's just going to depend on when he's ready to jump back in again. I have great respect for Tibbs. I go back with him a very long way. I was shocked.
Well, can you imagine? You just made the Eastern Conference Finals and got fired, but because of a miracle fadeaway three.
Yeah,
seriously. I mean, you could say miracle fadeaway three and a weird call. He's still coaching.
Yeah, I mean that's the difference. All right, I want to get into some sound from the game tonight as we get into the finals. Mark Dagnall talking about his team, and where am I at? Where's my I got to adjust here. I got to read. There we go. Mark Dagnall talking about his team and how mature they are despite being a very young team.
This is who they are, more so than us developing that. Obviously the experiences they've gotten have helped develop them and season them, but this is who they are. This is who they've been. Sam's done an unbelievable job in his group of identifying the type of people that we're bringing in the door. And this is you're not seeing anybody that's out of character. This is a very, very impressive group of young men that have only gotten more impressive as they've gotten more experiences. And now we have a huge test in front of us because we have a really good opponent and a big stage with a lot of distractions. But hopefully, these guys rise the way that they always have.
This is who they are.
Yeah.
No truer statement. They drafted those dudes. They didn't make them. They refined them, but they went and got them.
Yeah, and I think him giving love to Presti for that is appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Here is SGA talking about the Pacers.
They're a very fast team. I think, above all, they understand how they're playing, and they're very stubborn in their approach, and they kind of grind you with the way they play, and they wear you down. And you don't get here without being a really good team on both ends, and they're that. We know that coming into the game. But yeah, they're very. They know their identity and they stick to it no matter what.
And obviously the Pacers, the questions they're being asked are a little different than the question the Thunder are being asked. When you're a massive underdog, people are saying, how's it feel to know that nobody thinks you should be here? How are you guys going to hold up to this monster that's just wrecking everyone? What are you going to do different? Here's Halliburton on them being the dogs in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're a great team. They're historically great on both sides of the ball. They have the MVP. I mean, there's so many different things that you could name down the list of why they are so great at what they do and why they're such a great team. And, we know that this is a great team, and I wouldn't want to – if we were to win a championship, I don't want to win any other way. I don't want to go around or go over. I want to go through. You want to go through the best team. You want to go through the best challenge. So this is the best challenge, and this is the best team in the NBA. It's been the best team in the NBA all year, and they're well coached. They just do everything so well. So there's no shortcuts to beating this team. And we know the odds are stacked against us, but it is what it is. We want to be here. We want to play against the best, and this is the best. So we're looking forward to the challenge as a group.
I mean,
he's honest.
Yeah, and that's the way to do it. We know this is the best team, and I always say that, man. If you're gonna be the champs, you gotta beat everybody. You gotta beat all the other good teams. That's why, when it's it's a tough road for them. It's like, well, dude, at the end of the day, it's a tough road. Yeah, there's teams who have a tougher road than others, but if you're the champion, you should be able to beat any of those teams.
Mm-hmm. And I in my long life, I don't mind getting beat. If the team was better and I did all I could, getting beat, you try to get better. I hate losing.
Yeah.
I don't like losing when I gave them something. If I did all I could, we did all we could, and we just lost to a better team. It sucks, but you go home and you can justify it. Well, we just want to work harder, other than if it wasn't for that stupid mistake, if we didn't do that stupid, like Minnesota, I think, sits and goes, if it wasn't for all these stupid mistakes, we'd be in it. So they're mad. They don't, in their minds, they didn't get beat. They did get beat. I think Indiana's coming into it going, I know we're playing well. But we're about to play a team that's playing better. They're better than we are. And if they beat us in 4 or 5 games, I can walk away with my head held high going, I did all I could, and we're going to do all we can. It's just don't give away the little stuff. That's where you start losing your team and your the fun in this. As long as we're playing as hard as we can and we're not turning the ball over and doing stupid stuff, I can live with the performance because knowing full well this is an uphill battle. But don't lose the game. Get beat.
And here's Siakam talking about what the expectations are of the Pacers.
I think we focus on ourselves. Like I think, I don't think we expect anyone to pick us. So, and that's been like that the whole playoffs. It's been like that the whole season. So, I think for us nothing really changes. We just continue to be ourselves, focus on us, and it's always been us against everyone. So it doesn't change.
That's your leading rebounder for the Pacers at 5.8 a game.
Yeah. Well, that's because Miles Turner's a rebounding zero in the playoffs because he plays away from the basket now.
Again, yes, Pascal, hell of a player. You're the leading rebounder on your team, and you're not even getting 6.
Yeah.
So it's just there's just so many little things that add up to a huge, big thing.
All right. Man, 1 hour to go. That's it, friends. 1 hour left. And then you won't hear from us
for dang near 20 hours.
Exactly. You'll watch a basketball game. You'll watch a lady softball match.
Maybe.
You might even listen to the Blitz.
Surely.
But you'll be back. You'll be back.
We will too.
Well, we got 1 hour left to go. We're not going anywhere. Morning Huddle 94.1.
Riding the work with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. And now a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So, who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/20/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay?
Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening this Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
SportsCenter brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few stalls as you head into your morning commute. 35 southbound approaching Engle. That stall off to the shoulder. 1604 westbound at Bitters. This one is taking up a main lane, right lane block. 1604 southbound at Calabria, that stall now off to the shoulder. And on Loop 410 westbound east, Rolling Ridge Drive, disabled vehicle that they quickly moved off a main lane. It's now off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA Finals begin tonight right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Oklahoma City plays host to the Indianapolis Pacers. It's a Gilgeous-Alexander MVP versus Tyrese Halliburton upstart game. Pre-game fun starts at 6:30. In other NBA news, Commissioner Adam Silver announced that the 2026 All-Star Game will showcase some version of Team USA versus the world. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
9:01 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Little baseball news. You see that Rob Manfred, Buster Olney said Rob Manfred, part of why he decided to put Pete Rose or lift the ban on Pete Rose was the support from
Little presidential influence.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if he was.
I think Pete Rose is a great American. He did a lot of good things. He hit a lot of baseballs.
Why would you say that? Why do you think Manfred said that?
Well, Manfred didn't say it, but it's being reported that that was the case.
Well, if I'm Manfred, I want that out there because
Do you?
I do because I don't think the pure baseball dudes ever wanted him in. Manfred never wanted to put him in. So I'd let it float out. Hey, man, a president kind of leaned on me, so that's why.
AJ, you've become very famous.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
You let this criminal in. I mean, you let this dude in. No one wanted him in other than the Rose family and those that are just looking to stir the pot. But I would let it out there. Yeah, he made me, man. He leaned in. He's the president, so blame him.
Manfred said, obviously I have respect for the office and the advice that he gave I paid attention to, but I had a lot of other people that were weighing in on the topic as well.
Well, I give the president credit for creating the environment where it could even be done, whether you want to give credit or blame. The current environment of the United States was kind of ripe ground to let an avowed and admitted gambler on the sport, and we won't even get into the other stuff.
Well, it's a lifelong ban. Now that he's dead, maybe
dead.
they say, well, lifelong
And
has to have an expiration.
And that, I think, at the end of the day, is why he's in.
Yeah.
But if he's in now, let's
Shoeless
let's
Joe.
get all these other dudes in. Let's let them all in now that they're, as soon as they die, they know. If when I die, you can come see me in Cooperstown.
I still stand by this. The idea that Pete Rose will likely get into the Hall of Fame before Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens is absurd.
It is, again, another sign of the times, man.
It's absurd. And oddly enough, you know what I did on X the other day? I haven't been on there a whole lot, but I posted something. I reposted something about somebody posted ChatGPT's top 10 baseball players of all time. And it was Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Ted Williams, Ty Cobb, Mickey Mantle, Stan Musial, Lou Gehrig, Jackie Robinson, Barry Bonds. That's 1 through 10. Now, first of all,
it seems like a predilection of old dudes.
It is. And ChatGPT has been around for, 5 years, if that? I don't think anybody should make these lists because nobody saw all these guys play.
Yeah, eras are different.
I don't really know how good Babe Ruth was. Like, I really don't. I don't know how good Bill Russell was. I don't even know how good Willie Mays and Hank Aaron were, and they're more modern era than Babe Ruth. I certainly don't know how good Ty Cobb was, who was playing back in the days when,
all of those things. I mean, the Russell against Plumbers thing applies to all this. I don't know how good the competition was. All I can do is I know that Babe was better than anybody else playing then
at the time.
But that doesn't say much.
What I do know is,
well, it's enough. It's enough. Baseball, I think, because of the continuum, I buy greatness from years back more from that than I do in the other sports.
What I do know is Barry Bonds is the best person I've ever seen hit a baseball until maybe Shohei Ohtani now may be in the discussion. And the fact that Barry Bonds is number 10 on this list is absurd. And he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame before. And what's funny about that is there's a bunch of people who, when I tweeted that, who were like, what about Pete Rose? Like, multiple guys were like, Pete Rose should be on this list. No Pete Rose, this list is very sussed.
Charlie Hustle.
I never thought of Pete Rose as like one of the greatest players of all time.
Was he the best player on his championship teams?
No.
He wasn't even the best guy. Like, wasn't Bench better? I mean, wasn't there guys?
Joe Morgan was better.
Wasn't there guys that were better on those teams? So I never considered him anything other than a dude that maximized every bit that God gave him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because of that, he was great, but he wasn't gifted like the truly gifted baseball players. He just tried harder than others, which is more credit to him. But to list him like that, no. You have to be God-given and great to be on this list.
A bunch of singles. Get out of here. Hit the ball over the wall,
Again,
baby.
Pretty impressive, though. I mean, to that many hits, I mean, there's a lot of love to be given. He maximized everything, but his actions off the court to me will never be forgiven. You did the one thing you cannot do.
Well,
and you had to die to get in, and maybe that should be the line, but I'm glad he didn't get to see himself get in.
Pete Rose, his all-time WAR, which we've now discovered this stat that kind of it levels the playing field and things like that, is a 79.6, which is strong.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere like Babe Ruth's was a 182. You know, Barry Bonds a 162, Hank Aaron a 143.
I'm not going to glamorize or glorify Pete Rose. I'm not going to look back fondly. I'm sorry. I mean, when I picture him trucking it was a couple of trucks. The primary one was when he took out a catcher. I mean,
he's a guy who tried real hard.
Yeah, and I give him the love for that. But when I think of truly great, gifted baseball player, he's not on that list.
No. I mean, he's a good player, but nowhere near, to me, the top 10 of all time, which is absurd. But
And he had a bad haircut, too.
Oh, he looked like pumpkin pie.
Yeah, so all that combined, sorry, man.
Look ridiculous out there. Look ridiculous. You can't, if you look good, you play good.
And you and I both, over the years, have had occasion to be around and with and talk to him. I didn't like him personally. I mean, just as a guy, I just like, dude, I don't like you.
Well, he never rubbed me the wrong way, per se.
Me. I mean, just first.
I think you went in feeling that way.
Kinda.
And he just exasperated it.
His wife was. Anyway.
Well, imagine having to be married to Pete Rose. Where are you going today, honey? Well, I'm going down to the casino.
I'm going to go sit in front.
I'm going to sit at the table and sign autographs for $10 a piece. What the hell do you think I'm going to be doing?
I'll be at my work.
I'm going to work.
I guess I'd have been a miserable SOB, too.
You come home from a hard day of work, and she's like, I need you to sign this check for the bank. I've been signing all day.
Not really. I'd signed 10 autographs today.
Well, why is there only $80 here, Pete? Yeah, I bet on the Pirates.
I got the Reds are at home. I took them. What are you talking about?
You know what? If he was smart, you know what he would have done?
Bet on the Rockies.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado.
So do we let it ride?
God, no. What are you, crazy? We got away with theft here, man. A 3-game sweep from the Colorado Rockies. They win last night 3-2. They sweep the Marlins. Now the Marlins should also be contracted.
Yes,
Get them out of here.
They should be relegated to some sort of Pawtucket rookie league.
You're fired. Fired. No. Rockies have a night off before they go and play the Mets.
All right.
The probable pitchers for tomorrow night's game: Kodai Senga going for the Mets. He has a 6-3 record with a 1.60 ERA. He of the Ghost Forkball.
The Ghost Forkball. That's awesome.
And pitching, at least projected pitcher for the Rockies tomorrow, is Antonio Senzatella. He of the 1-10 record with a 7.14 ERA.
Is he Antonio Senzatella, you tell me?
Uh-huh. Antonio Senzatella Corbin.
And he's he had to hyphenate it, huh?
No, he didn't. But he should. His last name should be Corbin. That's what he looks like. Yeah, Patrick Corbin Day is much more that. Although Patrick Corbin, respectable season.
He's turned things around. It was all the uniform he had on.
Maybe so. But yeah, the Rockies, their first 3-game sweep of the season, and
they figured it out, man. The light switch is on. They've been playing possum. They were rounded into form. They just needed things to come into focus, and here we go.
They were 9-50. Rob said something's got to be done. They need to kick this team out of the league, and they said, watch this.
Hold my beer.
3 straight wins.
It is funny how it got to the point where I was like, this is just embarrassing. I mean, seriously, guys. And suddenly 3 games later, they are. Do they have a picture of the owner?
Yeah,
they're taking clothes off of him.
He's still very fully clothed.
We're gonna see the Walmart owner in his boxers here.
He's still very much fully clothed.
We got all
now,
summer. I want to see Walmart owner in a thong.
They are now 12-50, well on their way to hitting that coveted 20% mark.
I've seen this movie. Does Willie Mays Hayes playing for them?
No, he does not. He does not. No, the Rockies are still on pace, even after their 3-game sweep, to be the worst team in the history of Major League Baseball. But
they're 12-50 with a bullet.
That's right. They were 9-50. You talked that noise, and they said, what? They heard it.
Hotter than fish grease.
They heard it. Robert says, sounds like some double standard BS regarding Rose. How dare he bet on baseball, but in-game cheating is okay.
Yes. That's part of the game. There is one cardinal sin. It is like God, don't eat the apple. You have one thing you do not do. And he did.
That's true.
There's one thing that is unforgivable. You cannot gamble on yourself, even if it's to win. You cannot do it.
No.
Sorry.
It's kind of the big rule. It is. But, I mean, rules are made to be broken, right?
I think that
Let 'em
most of
live.
them, you can fall into strategery in
Let 'em
most
live.
things, but this goes to the very core of competition. And it's, for me, it is the most unforgivable thing. Juicing, things come and go. Medical science comes and grows. I don't know. I don't like it when I feel like there's an unfair advantage, but I can forgive that. I understand that because the foibles of the human nature play into that. But there's one thing you can control, and that's do not gamble on yourself, your team. You just don't do it.
SRS says Destro's cheated within the game, and
They
there's
did.
video.
They did.
And then he says that midget hasn't done squat since. I assume
That's
he's
a lie.
talking about
That's
Altuve.
wrong. He has.
Although Altuve's been pretty good. And Altuve was like the one guy who was kind of exonerated from all that cheating.
But you can't, and this sign stealing has been part of the game forever. This is just part of baseball. This is nothing
Yeah.
new. It is built into the game, and I get it. Now, you might not like it, but when people get caught, we go, thank God they didn't catch us, because
Yeah.
they're all doing something. This is not it. This is different. This is nothing to do with that. This is the unpardonable, unforgivable sin. It is the one thing in any sports you cannot do.
I also think once the Astros won their second World Series, I don't even care. Whatever. Greg says, had Rose come clean in 89, he'd be in the Hall of Fame already. Maybe. Had he admitted, had he fallen on the sword? I don't know.
Maybe. I think
would have been some leniency.
I will say this. We will allow you a second act if you're contrite about it.
Andy Pettit.
Yeah, we'll allow you to come back, but you're going to have to walk through the Game of Thrones sparrows. Shame. You're going to have to go through that.
Shame.
But once you get to the other side, we'll welcome you back in. But
shame.
Exactly. And he never had to do the shame thing.
That doesn't make a bell noise. I was hoping it would.
So we'll give you a second act if you're contrite enough and show us that you're sad, whether it's true or not. But no, he didn't get a chance, so no.
I don't really have hard thoughts on Pete Rose being in or out of the Hall of Fame one way or the other. I don't really care. Because I think, to me, Pete Rose was a pretty good player. You can write the story of baseball without Pete Rose.
Well, maybe not. No, I mean, there is those. How many hits? I mean, there is a record there. Remember, he did do a lot, but
yeah. Well, he played for a billion years.
Right. So I think we could, in his era, maybe not, but in the grand scheme, yeah, you could skip that chapter. You ain't gonna miss much.
He's he's mega-sized Craig Biggio,
maybe. But he was on part of a great couple of teams.
Yeah.
So.
But
it's just worst case scenario.
But the fact that we're leaving out guys like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens is the part where I'm like, this is absurd. What are we doing here?
Well, now we all know there's no way we can let these guys die without getting them in. I mean, at the very least, treat them slightly better than you did the dude that did the worst possible.
Right. And it also seems very, I don't want to say, it seems very meh, there's not really a system in place on how we decide who cheated and who didn't with steroid stuff.
Well, it goes to the eras. Yeah, there's not. But I will say this, though. If Roger Clemens came out tomorrow and Barry Bonds came out tomorrow and said, hey, all that stuff you said I did, and I'm sorry, I wish I hadn't. And in hindsight, I regret it. I can't turn it back. I think that would happen. I think we'd all go, oh, there it is, finally, an apology.
Right.
And I think they'd get in.
But do we think that all these guys who have gotten into the Hall of Fame have gotten in, they were fully clean?
No. There's convicted, never convicted. But yes, there's plenty of dudes.
And I say this all the time. The Astros that have gotten in, namely Bagwell and Biggio, are you willing to bet your life that those guys didn't do steroids? Come on, man.
If you played baseball in the 90s,
yeah,
you are guilt by association.
Yes.
I'm sorry. If you played baseball in that era, you're guilty, but whether you used it once, whether you used it for 6 months and it wasn't for you or you didn't get the benefit, if you knew that you could take a couple of shots, hit the ball 30 feet longer, and go sign a $50 million contract, you're stupid if you didn't.
Yeah.
Because they didn't care.
And now we've gotten to a point where the Hall of Fame's let's water things down just to make sure we don't let roid heads in, we're going to let in guys who probably aren't good enough to be in the Hall of Fame, but, you know, it's either like we got to have a show, right?
Well, if they'd have juiced, they'd had a good numbers, and they would have gotten in without any question.
But it's like, let's start putting in, no offense, Billy Wagner. Dude, he's a relief pitcher. You pitch 1 inning a game, but Roger Clemens isn't in. Get out of here. Get out of here. And I don't know if Billy Wagner did steroids. I got no idea. You put a gun to my head and you say, give me one player who played in the 90s and the aughts who didn't do steroids. And if you're wrong, you die. You can't say no one. But if they said one player, who would you say? Name a player.
Nolan Ryan.
Okay. I don't know how comfortable I feel with that.
I know. I go, did you see him throw when he was 50?
Yeah.
I think he might have done it.
I think my name would be Ichiro. I think that's the name I would throw out.
But even then.
I don't feel that comfortable.
That guy was pretty good.
And Ichiro had already mastered, like, not speaking English. So he could have just been like, oh, I was lost in communication. I've got no idea.
Where I'm from, we do this stuff.
But when we're putting in, okay, who's our list this year? I don't know. I was thinking Harold Baines. Harold Baines is a guy we've all been talking about. That's a Hall of Famer. Not Barry Bonds. No, Tim Raines. Tim Raines is the guy we need in here. Give me a break. David Ortiz got in. You don't think David Ortiz ever...
Well,
you really don't think David Ortiz ever dabbled?
If it was in beer.
I think he failed a test even.
Yeah, I think Ortiz, if it was in any kind of alcoholic beverage, he did.
Yeah. Which, I mean, what are we doing?
Again, if you were in the 90s and you were hurt and you were, say, at a contract year and you knew you could go take a couple of shots, work out hard, get back and help your team to play, and then hit the ball further and stay in the game to make tens of millions of dollars more, I put it to you, you're stupid if you didn't.
Yeah. I want you to go look at, Google this phrase, Jim Thome rookie card. And then you go look at Jim Thome his rookie year.
He was a skinny kid back then.
And then you look at him, you know, when he was hitting 600-something home runs.
He had started eating steak.
That's what it was.
He was a steak and potatoes guy.
That's what it was. That's what it had to be. I'll tell you what, none of these guys could have played for the 25 Rockies. I'll tell you that much.
No, they don't. They don't have the fortitude.
They're not built for that. They're not built to lose.
It's hard to lose.
15 games, 120 games over the course of a season. You can't. Not many men can handle that.
But they got it in their back pocket. They got 3 games whenever they want it.
Antonio Senzatella is built for it. 1-10. You think that happens by accident?
You think?
No, man.
He's not juicing.
Born loser.
That guy's born.
All right, I got to tell you about Carbach. Carbach, sweet nectar. You can find it all over San Antonio. Went out last night, had some pizza, had some wings. Guess what they had there on tap? 4 different Carbach beers. 4! What? That's right. They had Ziegenbach, Hopadillo, Love Street, and guess what, Rob? Rhubarbed. On tap. Oh, yes, guys. It's all over the city, and it's not just in the grocery stores and the liquor stores. You can find it in a bunch of bars and restaurants. They have really put their stamp here on the city of San Antonio, and there is something for everybody's taste. That Hopadillo, their flagship IPA. If you're not into IPAs, though, the Love Street is a great Kolsch-style blonde ale, real easy drinker. That's their best seller. And the Crawford Bock and Ziegenbach, those are both perfect year-round beers. They've got great seasonals as well. I mentioned that rhubarb, but also the Hopadillo Imperial, which they call the Double Dillo, just a 9.9% bombski. That's all. No big deal. Just in-your-face hops running down your throat. Guys, there's something for everybody in their lineup. Go check them out. You're going to be watching the game tonight. Wherever you're watching it at, go and ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you get into your midday commute, heads up downtown. Still working this accident, 37 northbound at Houston Street. It's taking up a left lane. 1604 westbound at Bitters, that's a stall, right lane blocked, and 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to 1604. Some ongoing road work in the right lane, still causing about a 15-minute delay. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
It was a sad day for Hooters.
What were they wearing in place of the uniform again?
We've had hostesses that may have been a little larger that couldn't wear the outfit, so they had safari shorts on and khaki shirts.
Oh.
It was a pretty low point in my life.
So it's not just me.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes give you options from a meal of classic faves to a feast of more indulgences to a whole world of deliciousness. Get Lux for less and choose your Lux Cravings box at Taco Bell today. At participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small, loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a gift from the Home Depot, because he's not just Dad, he's the handyman of the house, the plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. Upgrade his gear this Father's Day with the Husky Mechanics 270-piece tool set from the Home Depot. Now on special buy for $119, a $695 value. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle 94.1. Today's a holiday. You know, sometimes we'll hear those days like it's National this day or National that day, and you're like, what are we doing with that? What are we doing? I mean, what are you going to...
Well, what is it?
Well, so according to the National Day calendar, there's 5 things today.
All right.
One of them is National Start Over Day.
Okay.
Huh?
I guess we did that last week too?
I mean, yeah, we do that
once a week?
Yeah. What are we going to do, start the show over right now?
Every Thursday we just start over. All right.
I don't care about National Start Over Day.
What a random thing to decide to do. All right.
Yeah. What about National Veggie Burger Day?
Well, I can see at least there's a consortium of people that have a vested interest in the improvement and the quality of veggie burgers. So
I don't celebrate
if
it.
it makes me want to get somebody to eat one, sure. Am I going to go do it today? No.
It's impossible for me to do that.
Have you had one of those?
Yeah.
I've never actually had one, and people who have say it's just close enough to be creepy. Like, this is weird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've never tried it.
I'm Team Cow.
I'm heavy into the cow.
Long-time Team Cow guy.
Heavy.
It's National Ketchup Day.
Ties in with the impossible thing.
Yeah. I'm not, are you a big ketchup guy?
The big Heinz conglomerate. Yeah.
Ketchup on a hot dog?
No. I'm not. Only thing I put ketchup on is potatoes.
Okay. Ketchup on a hot dog, Edwin?
I have a sense it's a yes.
I think so, too.
I don't like ketchup.
Oh.
You don't like ketchup?
At all?
Wow. Okay. It's National Gingerbread Day. But most importantly, Rob, it's National Moonshine Day.
Ah, there we go.
Oh,
worthy of celebration.
Yeah. Now, Edwin, you want me to bring in some shine tomorrow and we can
Is moonshine good?
No.
Yes, it's very good. And good for you.
My son asked me that same question last week.
Heard a lot about it.
Is like on the drive down, he was like,
on the whole, is moonshine good?
He's like,
no, son.
What's moonshine, Dad? And I was telling him, well, it's like, imagine you make whiskey, and when you're making whiskey, you put it in a barrel so it doesn't taste like fire. And like after a certain amount of years, we as a society have decided this is worthy of drinking. Now imagine you cut that process real short and say, let's drink it right now. And it burns the insides of your body out.
You have to be so careful.
That's what moonshine is.
To the alcohol content that you don't want to cause the people that drink it to go blind.
Right.
That's what you're drinking.
Yeah. I hate going blind after I drink moonshine.
Is anybody who can drink moonshine straight, take your hat off to them. That's a drink.
Now they do make some moonshines
with the fruity ones and all
that.
That
have it tastes like apple pie. Oh, that ain't shine, Bubba. Yeah, I'm talking we're talking hooch here,
it didn't
boys.
Come out of a mason jar with just a little bit of dirt on the edges. It's not real shine.
The Texas has a known problem with the power grid, right?
We've had some faults, yes.
Yeah. Well, now there's concern that the next major utility to go down in Texas is going to be indoor plumbing. And there are some signs that point to it up in Rowlett, Texas.
That's North Dallas.
Water flow has been restored after a sewer main collapsed and led to interruptions. The city of Rowlett had previously urged residents to stop flushing toilets.
You're eating too much cheese up here.
Guys, if it's yellow, let it mellow.
Do you remember those signs? If it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow.
No.
There were signs that back in the 70s.
Yeah, I was not alive in the 70s. Like I've heard that said as a joke,
no,
but I didn't know
there
that
were
was
signs. You'd go into places like if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no. I'm for flushing always.
I'm down for in fact, you can flush several times for some of y'all.
Yeah, sometimes it's a two-flusher.
Gotta send it down.
Send it down. If it's brown, send it down.
Send it on, man. Act like you're in prison. Let it go.
If it's yellow, make the jello. Wait, no.
No, that's not it.
No, I forgot. I forgot how it goes. In the world of entertainment, Rob, the world of entertainment, there are pregnancy rumors.
No.
Oh, boy.
This could be earth-shaking. Is it who I think it is?
Tay-Tay and Trav.
A little Kelsey on the way.
I don't know. It says here, Taylor Swift allegedly spending the summer in Florida with Travis Kelce. They've been together for nearly 2 years, and their relationship has taken an unexpected route. In preparation for his upcoming season, Kelsey has relocated to Boca Raton for training. Boca Raton or Raton?
I think it's Raton. Raton.
Boca Raton.
Raton. No, it's Raton.
Okay. But when they do the bowl game, they always say the Boca Raton Bowl.
That's a hoity-toity.
I don't know. They were spotted having dinner at Harry's restaurant in West Palm Beach.
I'm a Swiftie.
Recently spotted in New York as well.
Has she got alcohol on her table?
But she is reportedly now shacked up, living there.
In sin.
That's right. Living there in sin. Travis still seems to be very happy. And now there are rumors. Well, there's some bad rumors. Some said this relationship is not a forever one. Living in sin, that will get you a one-way ticket to hell.
That's true.
But not everybody's upset. Some people say, some people say it's not all the hate isn't just hate, it's PR, and we wish it would go away. But the NFL loves this because now people are talking about the NFL.
I want them to live happily ever after.
I want them to have a public wedding like the Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. Oh, yeah. Travis Kelsey, do take thee.
What was her name? What was
Miss Elizabeth?
Was she talented?
Yeah, she was, and now also dead.
Oh,
Macho and Elizabeth.
They're both dead, right?
Dead. Oh, yeah. Straight to hell, living in sin, brother.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
That's what killed him.
That might have been.
The strain.
I
hope they're pregnant.
Well, here's the deal. After a night out for a Mother's Day celebration, Tay-Tay went out with longtime friend and actress Selena Gomez. And they hit up the Monkey Bar, though she was not seen drinking. Some observers asserted that her black and silver ensemble concealed a hidden baby bump. And it said, "Is it me, or is Tay-Tay getting thicker?" Oh, she's either pregnant or getting chubby. It was freezing in New York City Saturday night. Odd choice of outfit for the weather. Ha! A third person said, yeah, she's been pregnant the last 18 months with no baby yet. So strange. So there are people knocking those rumors down. But, yeah, it does look like they are now living together. Or you know what? Maybe it's a financial decision. Maybe rent's high, and they're like, dude, what are we going to do? Like, we stay together a lot. Let's save the money, and, Swift made a major business. She did spend a bunch of money, I guess, getting back her master record, and she finally bought those back.
That's right. She bought all of them back.
That guy sold them, and the people immediately turned around and sold it to Taylor.
At a profit, no less.
Oh, well, yeah, but she don't care. She ain't worried about money. Ain't nobody worried. What do you think?
I don't know.
She looking thick?
There's a couple little bumpy things there.
Those are her breasts, Rob.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, where you're pointing with your mouse.
I was more impressed with the way Selena was looking.
Oh, she's always impressive.
They look pretty good there.
All right, let's take our last break of the day, and we'll wrap up the show the way we always do by taking a look at the daily lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Libby Dunn with an instructional video on how to eat crawfish.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this particular instructional video, you might want to take a look, especially if you don't know how to eat crawfish. I mean, it's
even if you do know how to eat crawfish.
Yeah, go take a look at that. It's very educational, by the way. Yes.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nigel, why does our office look like a casino?
I call it employee engagement.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to hit the jackpot on comfort with Quarter Moon's Lucky 7's AC tune-up. It's just $77 for a complete 7-point inspection.
Excuse me, bossman. I've got a good feeling about that slot machine next to your desk. Joel, I couldn't get an advance on next week's check, could I?
Call Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC and Heating for your Lucky 7's AC tune-up. Just $77. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147, 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147, or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Rin says the Macho Man was a pro baseball player for a stint. He was. He's in the St. Louis Cardinals organization.
Respect. Didn't know that.
Yeah, played a little minor league ball. But they couldn't handle the heat, having the Macho Man around the locker room. All the other players were looking at the Macho Man with his shirt off in just a tiny little jock.
No roids there.
They couldn't get into the game anymore for whatever reason.
How long ago did he die?
When did Mach die? It was probably 2011, 2010. So it's been 15 years, 14, 15 years. Yeah, I've watched a documentary about the Macho Man. I find him to be one of the fascinating characters of wrestling. I don't particularly like pro wrestling, but I like the characters of pro wrestling.
I was a fan for a minute.
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, I got into it for a little while, like when I was a kid, but like I'll read books about old pro wrestlers.
Well, there's a series on, I guess it's maybe on Amazon that's kind of like Behind the Ring, and they highlight an individual wrestler from my day on all these different hour-long kind of things, and it's the same story. These guys all lived the same life.
Yeah,
every
like
one
a little
of them.
bit of the cocaine.
They got into it. They got a little bit of
booze.
They got into with promoters they didn't like. They had to wrestle hurt. They had to take drugs, and they died young. Every one of them.
Painkillers, baby. Yeah.
Except for my man Ric Flair, who will live forever.
Woo! I can't even do a good woo today. My voice is too shot. But maybe it did help my Macho Man today. That could be part of it.
Do we know what killed him?
I think a heart attack. I'm not totally sure, but I believe it was a heart attack. R.I.P. Macho Man. where, I assume in heaven, even though he wasn't living in sin with Miss Elizabeth, he did marry her in the ring. I remember it. Let's see. How'd you die, Macho Man? He was driving.
Oh.
He was driving with his wife, and then he became unresponsive and crashed into a tree. Yeah, I remember finding that. They were driving along, and he just went out.
Aneurysm kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was a heart attack. I was right. He had a sudden heart attack. He was 90% blocked.
Oh.
Oof.
The Widowmaker.
Had a prescription painkiller and a small amount of alcohol in his system. But Savage had never been treated for heart problems, and no evidence that he was aware of his condition. So, R.I.P. Mach. Yeah. Went out the way I wanted to, driving my Jeep with my lady by my side. Yeah.
Hitting a tree.
That's right. Like Sonny Bono. Just...
He was skiing, though, right?
Yeah, but what do Macho Man and Sonny Bono have in common? Yeah, something you never thought you'd hear. The Mega Powers, they called Macho Man and Sonny Bono when they teamed up.
It was an odd tag team.
Yes, yeah.
Sonny didn't get in much.
No, he didn't want, for whatever reason. That was the end of. That's what broke up the tag team.
It was.
That's what broke it up. Mm-hmm. All right, let's finish up the show the way we always do by taking a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
All right. The night is upon us, Rob. We've made it. And guess what? Thunder, 10-point favorites. You called it. You said it was going to go up that way. I don't think there's a lot of people looking to bet money on the Pacers.
You start going to the websites when you're about to lay your money down, and you look at all the trends. And if you were thinking 6, you read all the trends and go, well, okay, 5. If you were thinking 5, you go, okay, sweep. There's nothing that tells you that there's anything to be made other than on OKC.
OKC, a 10-point favorite. Totals dropped down to 230. I got in on some 231 yesterday.
Good for you.
So, we're making money on this thing. Unless there's a total disaster, and then I'm not even going to show up to work tomorrow.
Well, if it's going to happen, it'll be tomorrow. It'll be tonight.
I'm going to say my voice is messed up.
It'll be tonight.
The NHL Stanley Cup, after one game down, the Oilers are a minus 130 favorite in Game 2. They are now minus 210 for the series. Panthers plus 180 on the comeback. Basically, that's all saying just because they've got a game in hand, but plus 180 is actually kind of tempting, considering the first game looked like it could have gone Panthers' way easily.
Given what I saw, and I don't know hockey, I don't know what the line is, but I might be looking at the over.
Yesterday was 6.5. I know that because I bet the under.
So that's a bigger number than I would have expected because it looks like they're both able to score on each other to me.
Yeah, it was 6.5 yesterday, and it was 3-1 like halfway through the second. I was like, ugh. And then, of course, 3-3 overtime. I already knew I was a loser on that front, so it was, whatever. But yeah, 6.5 probably going to be what they are throughout this thing. It'd be hard for them to bump it up to 7.5. Major League Baseball today. We got no Marlins to kick around. I can tell you that much. Sorry,
Rockies are screwed.
I can't believe I made money in back-to-back days on the Colorado Rockies.
Well,
God, what a. I don't like to just throw around the word brilliant or genius, and I'm not saying I am that.
Good.
But I'm not saying
that you're not.
I'm saying maybe it would have taken a genius to bet on the Rockies 2 days in a row and go 2-0 on the season betting on the Rockies.
So you call that genius?
Never lost.
Okay.
Never lost. Tonight, well, actually today, we got it's getaway day as they call it in the bigs. So we got some day games. 11:15, the early start. The Diamondbacks are in Atlanta for the Braves. Brandon Pfaadt goes for the Diamondbacks. Grant Holmes. Have you seen Grant Holmes' haircut?
I'm about to look.
Look up Grant Holmes Atlanta Braves, and you tell me that that's not actually Kenny Powers. Like it might be. This is what I would if I were a major leaguer. I think this is the look I would go for.
Oh, we got Kenny Powers working, no doubt.
Yeah, the long.
I like the goatee as
the
well.
Flow.
It's
Oh,
working.
yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
Who was that big guy for the Phillies for a couple years? He wasn't a pitcher, though. Best hair in baseball.
Oh, Brandon Marsh.
Yeah,
like
Marsh.
the greasy-ass hair.
Best
he's
hair in baseball.
disgusting. His is gross. I remember Rod Beck.
Led the league in nose hair and farts.
Oh, he had that curly mullet. Oh, it was so disgusting, but so sexy at the same time. Anyway, Grant Holmes is minus 160 favorite for the Braves today. Noah Cameron goes for the Royals. Miles Michael is going for the Cardinals. That's a rivalry matchup. The state of Missouri, the Show Me State. Bragging rights on the line. Show me the Cardinals minus 130 favorites. Casey Mize and the Tigers, they are minus 240 favorites in Chicago, taking on the White Sox. Sean Burke going for the White Sox. Jesus Luzardo for the Phillies. They're minus 120 in Toronto, taking on Chris Bassett and the Jays. Twins minus 195 on the road in Sacramento, taking on the Sacramento Athletics. Mitch Spence going for the A's. Orioles are at Seattle. Zach Eflin going for Baltimore. Brian Woo. Oh, that's a shameful performance on that woo. You do it, Rob.
No.
Do a Ric Flair woo.
I got the same problem.
Edwin, you got a Ric Flair woo in you?
No, I don't.
Woo.
It'll crack high. I can't.
Woo. I just ain't got it, baby. I just ain't got it. SRS says La Flama Blanca. That's right, baby. La Flama Blanca. Woo and the Mariners minus 155. Dylan Cease goes for the Padres tonight. Even money on the Padres at the Giants. Robbie Ray going for San Fran. They're minus 120. I might back Cease at a plus 100 price. David Peterson and the Mets go to the Dodgers, taking on the Landon Knick-Knack Paddywhacks. Dodgers minus 130. Fromber and the Astros hit the road. Got shut out yesterday. They're expected to win today. You can't win if you get shut out, so they're expected at least not to get shut out today. They're minus 150 favorites in Pittsburgh. Mitch Keller going for the Pirates. Drew Pomeranz goes for the Chicago Cubs today. They're in Washington to take on the Nationals.
I think this is his first start.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Jake Irvin going for the Nats. Well, they've got high expectations of Drew Pomeranz.
Yeah, he's actually been pitching pretty well. It's to see if he can
minus 140.
Get 3 innings in him.
Slade Ciccone going for the Guardians.
Slade
Ciccone. They're at the Yankees. Max Fried going for the Yankees. Yanks minus 285. Jack Leiter takes the hill for the Rangers. They're in Tampa taking on Ryan Pepiot and the Rays. Rays minus 150. And then another matchup of the Show Me State?
2 in a row.
That's right, baby. Let's play 2. Cole Reagans goes for the Royals. Matthew Liberatore goes for the Cardinals. Cardinals minus 120.
Give me Liberatore or give me death.
The night game. Well, there you go. I'm on the Ragans.
What?
I'm on the Ragans.
The Ragans?
Cole Ragans.
See? Give me liberty or give me death versus I'm on the Ragans?
Yeah, that's who I'm on
I thought you were
today.
about to give a WNBA.
No. Rob, grow up.
That was uncalled for late in a show.
Grow up, man. Actually, yeah, tonight the Liberty are in Washington to take on the Mystics. Liberty Bibbity minus 13 on the road. They probably cover that. And the Golden State Valkyries. I don't know how I feel about that name, Valkyries.
It puts you
like what are you doing?
I'm just saying.
Anyway, they're plus 6.5 in Phoenix, taking on the Mercury. Mercury rising to a 6.5 point favorite there. Oh, you see what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
You like that?
Mercury rising. I caught that.
Come on.
I want to see if everybody else is on the uptake.
I'm a real pro, man. I am a real pro. Yeah, give me. You know what? I'll take the Valkyrie tonight, despite having a stupid team name.
That's you're right on the edge there.
The 6.5. It's just too many points. Mm-hmm. In the Open de France, Carlos Alcaraz minus 650. Lorenzo Musetti plus 475. I thought we saw Novak Djokovic get kicked out yesterday. That must have been an old match.
That was an injury thing. No,
okay.
No, he's still that old man's still playing.
Well, he's in the Final Four. Oh. He'll play tomorrow against Yannick Sinner, who beat up on
our dude.
What was his Bublik?
Oh no, where's Tiafoe? Is our dude?
Oh, he's out too.
He's done too.
He's out. Yep. Yannick Sinner is minus 450 taking on Djokovic tomorrow. So maybe the end of the road for old Joker. And my new favorite tennis player is Aryna Sabalenka.
Oh yeah, she's going right now. She's playing as we speak.
That's right. And currently live odds, she's up 1-0. Iga up 4-2 in the second set, but Aryna is minus 200 on the live odds. And I didn't realize Aryna was
she's stacked.
She's built for speed and comfort. Not like that's strong. Most lady tennis players are built for speed. She's built for speed and comfort.
Mm-hmm.
I like her. I'm cheering for her. In the matchup later today, Lois Boisson takes on Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff is a minus 575 favorite. I don't know what. I mean, now is the time. When is she going to choke?
She's going to choke it away.
There's no way she wins. I mean, she might win today, but there's no way she wins the whole thing. And if she's minus 575, we might get a good number tomorrow on Sabalenka
or Swiatek.
It's gonna be Aryna, my
So?
gal. Oh yeah, look how hot she's looking right now.
She's up.
Damn right she is. So am I.
7-6. Oh no.
Hey.
30-0 in the third game.
40-0.
No, 40.
40 love, we like to call it in the business.
Oh, love. That's right. I didn't say it right. What
40
is
love.
40 love?
Yeah. Deuce. All right. That does it for us today, friends. Thank you for sticking with us, even though my voice was terrible today.
You made it. You
still got a
cracked your
couple
way
minutes.
through. We still got some time.
Oh, I thought I'd get it. Oh, I'm used to 54.50. My bad.
Have some extra.
Not as many commercials.
When does the World Cup start for real? Because I see all these friendlies that are going on, but I know that it's imminent.
World Cup qualifiers today. They're happening now.
So we're about to be overwhelmed with soccer.
Yeah.
As a country.
World Cup, I'm seeing qualifiers going on. There's one happening right now. Indonesia's up 1-0.
Well, where are these games being played? Are we in the United States yet?
No.
But
No.
I mean, the U.S., we're hosting this thing.
Yeah, we'll host the big games. We ain't hosting these practice games.
But when does the thing start? It's like in the next week, right?
I don't think so.
I got the sense that
November. Oh no, that's wrong. June 11th through July 19th.
See, we're 6 days away. I mean,
guess
it's
so.
about to overtake us.
Yeah, I
and
guess
if
so.
basketball ends quick, which most of us expect it to happen, and hockey ends quick, it is going to be the singular thing on our televisions for a couple of weeks. That and fly balls in the outfield.
Damn. Well, I didn't realize it was coming up that fast. They should play. They're taking up too much time.
Well, I mean, it's not there yet. In fact, it's awfully quiet, but you get the sense that this is about to overrun us.
What's the closest one to here? Dallas?
I think, they're playing in Dallas. They didn't get the championship, but they do have a final or a semifinal.
We should have played it here. We got one in Houston, one in Dallas. We should have got one here in San Antonio.
Well, we certainly host the friendlies. But
we got that soccer stadium. Doesn't even get used.
Yeah,
Put them in there.
We host friendlies. Mexico plays here more than they do there.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Maybe. Blitz coming up at 2. Enjoy your day, everybody.